Guys, we're going live again. We apologize that we weren't able to go live last night with Mr. Rick Glazier, but, well, we'll make up for it later this week. And, yeah, we've got a lot to discuss, guys. We're going to talk about Manny Pacquiao, Alexander Usyk, Mario Barrios, Daniel Dubois, Sebastian Fundora, and much, much more, guys. All of this and more. And I also dropped the link. So, guys, if you want to chop it up with me, we're just getting started. We're going to be on for the next couple of hours. We're WaraWeek Boxing.
W.A.W. presents Big Time Boxing USA on WaraWeek Radio.
Guys, welcome. Happy Tuesday to all of you guys. And I'm so happy that you guys are here. Tell you what, it's a beautiful day to be alive. And as usual, guys, this show is always brought to you by Affordable Dentures. Guys, in case you need that service, boy, there's one in every major metropolitan area in America. Guys, go check them out. Mention WaraWeek Radio. And I tell you what, also, this show is always brought to you by our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Guys, if you haven't already surrendered your life to Jesus Christ, what are you waiting for? His plan is so much better for your life. And, boy, he is the source, the only source of eternal salvation. Thanks be to God. And, guys, look. So I'm going to give you your choice. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start talking about the Usyk main event and the subsequent information that's come out about Daniel Dubois? Because I've been on the horn and I got the skinny from people from Frank Warren and who participated in that event. Or do you want to talk about Manny Pacquiao getting the majority draw with our dear friend Mario Barrios? And I told you guys that O'Mira was going to be the red herring. She was going to be the fly in the ointment. Oh, boy. And she was a distraction all week long leading up to the event. We can talk about that, or we can talk about the destroyer at Superfly, which is our dear friend Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Can anyone beat this kid at 115 pounds? Or does he have to move up to 118 to get his toughest test against Junto Nakatani? Well, all of this and more, guys. We're going to be talking about everything. We're also going to be talking about, one of Ronnie's fighters, and it was just ordered by the WBO, and that's David Morrell Jr. taking on Callum Smith. Guys, what's not to like about that fight? So we're going to be talking about everything, guys. And we're also going to be talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh making probably the dumbest tweet I've ever seen. Well, I don't even know what you call it now that it's X. What do you call it? It's not a tweet. So regardless, calling for Moses Itauma versus Alexander Usyk. What is he, high? Or does he just not know this business? I'll tell you what. Here to there, good to see you, my friend. And also, Eric, yes, sir. Thanks be to God in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Blessed be God forever. God is indeed king, brother. But look, man, and Jesus M, good to see you, my friend. Wait a minute. Tim versus Fundora was action-packed. If you like seeing someone block punches with your face, yeah, sure. Good to see you, Jesus. Thank you for being there, my friend. And also Major Key Boxing. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to our brother Major Key Boxing, please go do that at this time. Guys, so what would you like to talk about first? And Here to There has the beat. Morrell versus Smith, excellent action fight. Yes, what's not to love, guys? We're going to analyze that later on, probably in the second hour. Usyk to retire on top. Look, guys, let me tell you exactly why Eric Gomez is correct in his assessment. So once again, I know a lot of critics say, oh, yeah, you need to fight Joseph Parker. Really? Why? Now, if you can tell me a fighter who's earned his place as the number one contender by doing as little as possible, you tell me if that's not Joseph Parker, then I don't know what that is. Because who is he beaten? He outlasted the Big Bang Zhilei Zhang by just outlasting him, getting floored twice, but actually beating him by just outlasting him, beating him with boredom. And then he fought Deontay Wilder. Didn't do much. He basically won by default. And then Joseph Parker beats a fat on 1 week notice, replacing Daniel Dubois. And guys, that should give you some insight as to what the controversy is about regarding Daniel Dubois. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. But Joseph Parker blasting out a fat, out of shape Martin Bacoli that hadn't had a camp. So does anyone really want to see this fight? I know a lot of people are like, oh, no, he's got to fight him. Why? Look at them. I'll tell you why this fight's not going to happen, guys. And if it happens, it's going to be on Turki Al-Sheikh's dime. And for no other reason. Because no one else can afford this. Where are you going to put this fight if it's not in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? Where are you going to put it? Neither guy's a big ticket seller on their own. Let's be honest. There's a reason why Daniel Dubois jumped places with Joseph Parker. Because he was supposed to fight Joseph Parker, Alexander Usyk. So why did he jump spots with him? Because that's a big fight in London at Wembley Stadium, right? Because Daniel Dubois just beat up and knocked out Anthony Joshua. So you put it in the place that the house that Anthony Joshua built. And the overwhelming majority of Alexander Usyk fans were actually Anthony Joshua fans. He doesn't have a whole lot of fans. Not enough to fill that stadium. They wanted to see Alexander Usyk take care of Anthony Joshua's light work. They were hoping to see him, acclaim vengeance for Anthony Joshua. Because Alexander Usyk doesn't have enough fans to fill that stadium. And it was a sellable fight. Daniel Dubois was riding high, brimming with confidence. I actually thought he was going to pull off the upset before the fight. But didn't play out that way, guys, and that's why they fight the fights. And look, and I warned you guys going into that fight last week on our WaraWeek radio chats that he's an all-time great. And our brother Udis was trying to tell me something else. And I said, guys, he's a cerebral predator. You could plop him in any era, and he would do just fine. Not saying that he would win all those head-to-head matchups in the 90s or the 70s, but he would do just fine and perform respectably. He's an all-time great, guys. That was by far one of Usyk's greatest performances against a confident, hard-punching Daniel Dubois, who just cleaned Anthony Joshua's clock. But there's no shame in losing to Alexander Usyk. Now, the controversy stirred up is because of things that we already knew, guys. Once again, this is a guy, and this is why he had to back out of the Joseph Parker fight earlier this year, right? Because of every time he's coming up to a big fight, Frank Warren revealed this earlier this year, that he has nerves. And so what they did to calm his nerves, before the Anthony Joshua fight, they threw him a little soiree with some friends and family. And it worked like a charm. He didn't get into his own head, psych himself out. But it seemed to play against him now. Right? It seemed to play. Well, look, Eric, Daniel doesn't drink. Unfortunately, though, it carried on because so many people showed up. It carried on in the wee hours of the morning. And I was told he didn't even show up until 8 p.m. the night of the fight. Wait a minute. Darrell? AJ almost stopped him? Yeah. And I almost became a millionaire on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Yeah. Dubois? Yeah, he quit like a dog. But look, guys, go back and do your research. Listen to the interviews with Frank Warren, and I just verified this today. Listen to the interviews with Frank Warren talking about Daniel Dubois and his nerves going into a fight. He always suffers like stomach cramps and that sort of thing. Here to there, it wasn't just the jab, it was the footwork. And we told you guys, his footwork is immaculate. I'm sorry. Why does that matter? What do you mean, why does that matter? That's the talk today. That's all the talk today. Everyone is saying, oh, Daniel Dubois partied the night before. He wasn't. No, that's not it. They kept him busy with a celebratory party so he wouldn't get into his own head and psych himself out. Yeah, I'm telling you why the party happened. It's not because he was partying. He doesn't live that life, right? They threw him a party just like they did before the AJ fight. Unfortunately, a lot more people showed up to this one because he was the IBF champ. And he let it go on and was distracted as well. But I tell you what, pick your poison. When you're dealing with a head case like Daniel Dubois, pick your poison. Do you want him to be distracted or do you want him to psych himself out? Either way, he's a mental midget compared to Alexander Usyk, and a lot was revealed in the post-fight press conference, right? Oh yeah, way too much. You've got that, brother. You almost winning the lotto has more to do. I have no idea what that means. Hey man, click the link if you want to chop it up, brother. Tell me what you mean. Click the link. You have my official invitation. Bruce, Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. We love you, brother. If you guys haven't already, please go subscribe to my brother, Bruce. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Hope you and your family are doing well. God bless you, bro. Yeah, Usyk's got it all. Like, I don't see any weaknesses this guy has. Now, once again, if you hurt him to the body, just like Joshua did in the 9th round of their fight, what does he do? He takes that punch away and he comes back and whoops your ass. What did he do with Tyson Fury after you landed that uppercut against him? Well, he collected himself Regrouped. Oh, hold on. I was on H Money when you were there. You don't let people talk. Look, if it's nonsense and noise, you're right. I'm not going to let you talk. If it's something that I know is not true, I'm not going to let you talk. Because I don't want you to fill our airtime with nonsense and noise. Okay? And I mean that in the kindest possible way. I'm saying that with the greatest amount. Now you're saying, see, is that your way of saying that you're not going to come on and tell me how you feel? I'll let you talk, man. I'll roll out the red carpet for you. Click the link. I'm not going to bite, dude. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to cuss you out like a lot of other momons. A conversation takes two, sir. Well, understand, just like in boxing, there are levels to this, brother. And if you think you're on equal sledding with me, brother, and once again, I'm trying to be as humble as I possibly can. What would probably be better than, yeah, go ahead and don't click the link then, brother, because if you don't think you're on my level to have a decent, intelligent discussion, then you're probably right. God bless you, my friend. But yes, Eric Gomez, I am. I'm fair, but I'm firm. And if it's just nonsense and noise, drivel, inexperienced drivel, and I can tell you've never been in this business or you don't know what you're talking about, then why have a conversation? Exactly. So you know what? Don't even bother commenting, Darrell. God bless you, my friend. Keep on watching boxing. But once again, guys, this is all about levels. And I've been in this business. And if you don't know this business and you don't know what you're talking about, then yeah, you're probably best not clicking the link. But once again, guys, this Dubois debacle, guys, he was going to get his ass whooped. I actually thought he was riding high and brimming with confidence, and I had forgotten all about the nerves pre-fight. I'd forgotten all about that. Shame on me. But then I was reminded by all the guys from Queensberry Promotions, and they gave me an earful today. That yes, they threw him a party, but he doesn't drink, he doesn't party, he doesn't live that lifestyle. Okay? He's not like most of the Darrell, stop it, man. Look, if you want to talk, I don't want to argue. Okay? God bless you, man. Peace be with you. I don't want to argue. So why do you keep posting this stuff? Well, I tell you what, prove me wrong. There's the link, Darrell. Either put up or you know the last half of that. So click the link, man. Once again, I don't have any enemies on here. God bless you, brother. Click the link. We'll have a discussion. You can bring up and talk about whatever you want, okay? I don't know who Bob is. Who you talking about, Bob? Who's Bob? Anyway, this is growing tiresome. Same here, minus the nerves. What is it? Don Charles was wise to throw in the towel. Yo, of course he did. Of course he was. Of course he was. Hey, T. Sanders, brother, how you doing, my friend? Yes, look, and I'm not going to say this, but I'll let my brother Eric Gomez tell you. Darrell, that's it. Okay? I'm not gonna converse with you like this. Either click the link or stop commenting if you just want to argue. Because I have no desire to argue with anybody, brother. Look, I've just been through prayer, and I just finished publishing a very, very important video on my other channel, God's Perfect Love. And I'm in a wonderful mood. I've had an amazing evening. I just spoke with two of my dear friends, one of the best journalists in boxing. Oh, I'm sorry. You were referring to Bob Arum. Brother, I know several Bobs or Roberts in this business. So stop. Okay? Hold on. Now, here's a good question. Here to there, my brother from across the pond, man. Thank you for always being the voice of reason and interrupting and changing the subject when it's needed. Thank you, brother. Joseph, what would you do next if you were managing Dubois? Honestly, I would have him fight Joseph Parker. He can beat Joseph Parker, right? That's what I would do. Or I would offer Anthony Joshua a rematch. Those are two big money fights. But Joseph Parker opposite Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk, because he's been receiving inflated purses for the past 4 years, right? He's grown accustomed to receiving absurd amounts of money, and he's not a huge ticket seller. Now, once again, he had a lot of fans on Saturday, but that was because most of the fans supporting Anthony Joshua supported Alexander Usyk, and they wanted him to give Daniel Dubois his comeuppance. And I know you could say, oh, well, Alexander Usyk beat him twice, but he also beat Tyson Fury twice, Anthony Joshua's longtime nemesis. So in their strange minds, he's kind of an ally. Darrell, dude, once again, I'm going to do this for the last time. I'm interested to hear your take. And once again, there is no argument. I don't want to argue. And everyone knows that I don't like to argue because it's very negative. I'll have a discussion all day long. And I'll throw facts at you all day long. But you're making a claim that Triple D is done. And this is based on what, Darrell? Everyone was saying this. Hold on. AJ's never quit in a fight? Really? You mean AJ didn't quit in that first fight against Andy Ruiz? You sure about that? Are you sure? Go back and watch, brother. You didn't see the look on his face when he got knocked down twice that final round? He had conceded, brother. He had conceded. Go back and watch that final round against Andy Ruiz in the first fight. He was looking for the exit door. Now, I don't know what you're talking about. And once again, this is the heavyweight division. If it's not your night, so what? If it's not your night, throw in the towel. Come back stronger. It's better than getting beaten up some more when you know it's not your night. Now, once again, have you ever been in the ring? Okay? Guys, this is a hard sport, and in the heavyweight division, you can't play boxing. There's boxing, and then there's heavyweight boxing. Okay, now this is okay. I'm done with you, Darrell. I've given you every opportunity to come on my podcast, right? And you're saying, oh, you don't know the sport as well as you think you do if you think AJ quit. Dude, I know AJ quit. Everyone in that arena, part of the media, knows AJ quit. Look, take your fan goggles off. Go back and watch the last 3 rounds of that fight, and you will see AJ quit. The way he looks in his corner, that was him checking out. Go back and watch it. Take your fan goggles off this time. Here to there says, Dubois still has major marketability, and Frank Warren knows it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here to there knows the fight game. Eric Gomez. Andy changed AJ in that fight. Yep. Before that fight, he was fearless. Look. I'll say this. The real guy who changed. I'm sorry, Darrell, I'm not the one who's being sensitive. Okay, well then click the damn link. Click the link, homie. Okay, it's all right, man. Take your balls out of your wife's purse and bring him on the show, brother. Unless you're willing to do that, please just stop, dude. I'm done with you, man, okay? Click that link. Click that link. Oh, goodness gracious. Darrell, I don't know and I don't care. I would, if I had to guess, because it happened, in 2019? I would say the 7th. That's what I would say. But it's been so long since I've watched that fight. But I can tell you this. He quit. And everyone who knows boxing knows that he quit. Here to there, Vlad changed day. You know what? Tell you what, that was a great fight. That was a great fight. And you know what? That may have made him. But I'll say this, though. The reality is, I'll tell you, really changed him was Joey Javeco. Sparring with Joey Javeco in preparation for Andy Ruiz on 2 weeks' notice. He stopped him in sparring. He knocked his ass out. That's why he was tentative in that fight, and that's why he was damaged goods already walking in the ring. Go back and watch that ring walk, Darrell. Go back and watch that ring walk. He did not look the same. Hold on. AJ, Tom, and Jerry. Oh, yeah. There it is. And guys, it's my pleasure to introduce to the show my brother Ugo. How you doing, my friend? And yes, I'm sorry. What did you say about Canelo there, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to be on my best behavior, Joseph. Try to,
I can
respect
tell you
yourself.
what. God bless you, my friend. And you're a good Christian. And there you are, man. There you are.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Darrell. You're like, haha. You looked it up. What time would I have had to look it up? I just answered you, brother. I don't do that. I don't play these games that fans play. And you know why? Because I don't care. I don't care, brother. I live this stuff. I'm in this business. So just stop, Darrell. Come on, brother. Your slip is showing. Okay? Your slip is showing. Stop it. Chingao, man. Why do these guys always follow? Like whenever I go live, why does this always happen to me?
I don't know. They're
Why
everywhere.
does this happen, man?
They're everywhere in YouTube. That's the unfortunate reality of the YouTube boxing community. I believe it's reference. The
Well,
white
I
people.
will say this. I will say this. If you guys are very quick to get your panties in a bunch, then move on to a safer sport for you, like women's tennis. Right? Okay, can you do that, please? And yeah, here's another one. God bless you, brother Dominic. Good to see you, my friend. But I will say this. Oh, wait a minute. I have a God complex, brother. There's only one God, and I worship and praise him, give thanks to him all day long, and that's Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Okay? So don't tell me that, man. I am as humble as it gets. But I know the reality. Now, once again, humility. Do you know the definition of humility? Humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means thinking of yourself less. Okay? Yeah, Eric Gomez. There might be an opening for you, Darrell. So what would you like to talk about first, brother Ugo?
Well, you could carry on what you were talking about, but obviously
Let's shift gears, man. I don't want to. We'll go back to the heavyweight division, guys. And once again, I've already addressed the Daniel Dubois controversy, and anyone who thinks that he's finished probably thought he was finished after the Joe Joyce fight.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you what, he took more of a beating during the Joe Joyce fight, right?
Yeah, but yeah, he's always been mentally lacking. But yeah, it is it is heavyweight boxing. Simply put, you have you have to navigate the fighters. Generally speaking, they have to navigate it different. They live under a different set of rules. So there's nothing. I get what you're saying with that. I just wish he would try to. In my opinion, I knew Usyk was going to finish the fight. I actually bet on. I got some good coin that day because I bet on the 5th round. I just had a feeling.
Wow, you called
coming
it,
in.
then, man.
Yeah, coming in. Yeah, I was like, this guy is gonna just spark. He's gonna figure out a way. His angles are just too good. Usyk's everything is good about the guy. He's just he's in his own class, in the heavyweights.
Well, look. I'll say this, and that's the point I was making before the fight. He's an all-time great. I said, and you guys can go back and listen to it. I said his footwork is immaculate. His feints, his intelligent jab, his upper body and head movement is immaculate. He's grown into the division. He is a cerebral predator, and there's no shame in losing to an all-time great like Alexander Usyk. There's no shame in that, guys. Now, once again, Darrell, do you have a problem with women's sports? You know what? I'll say this. I do. I don't think women should be allowed to box. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ugo. I adore women. I love women. They're lovely in every way, shape, or form. And I don't want to see them beating the snot out of each other. I just don't. Women are, I hold them on a much higher pedestal than that.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
honestly, I have no problem them playing tennis, basketball, anything else, but boxing, no. I do not want to see women box.
no, and there's always with the women side of the sports, the skill level is obvious. That's also why they don't make a lot of money sometimes when they compare themselves to like other great people in other sports. The skill they don't get paid as much because they're not good in what they do. There's they can only go so far. And look at the women's division right now in boxing. It's very lacking in talent. There's not really a lot of
yeah, guys, go look at BoxRec. To Ugo's point, go look at BoxRec and how many lightweights there are in the men's division, and then go look at how many lightweights there are in the women's division.
Yeah,
it's about 10% of the talent pool, and I picked purposely the largest one to make this comparison. No, hold on. I listen to Bob talk to people, and I've never heard him speak down to people the way you do. Ugo, have you ever heard me talk down to you?
no, I don't think so. No, we might. We obviously don't agree on things, and we have. I mean, we have. I guess I would say mutual respect. I show respect where respect is showed. So, no, I don't think so. You have your ways of saying things. I guess that's what that guy seems to be buttered over what your recent comments. He used to. Possibly he's used to being in power or something like that. Where he comes from, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Look. It's obvious though, Darrell, that this platform is not your speed. So go back to H Money Show, man. You might feel at home there. Okay.
Oh, that's what it is.
Once again, I have respect for H Money. I like H Money. He provides a great forum for guys your speed. So go back over there, brother. Don't let the door hit you. God bless you, my friend. Hey, God bless you, brother. Am I looking for validation, Google?
No.
Come on, Darrell. Your slip is showing, brother.
And even if you were, you look. I mean, you and I are. I'm a spectator. I'm a hardcore fan. You're a guy in the business, so I don't know why you would look down. Let's say you're looking down at what I'm nobody compared to. Your experience. You have a lived experience, so it's very stupid to say, very ignorant to say. Even if you were looking for validation, why would you look at the? It's like imagine Cristiano Ronaldo looking at a fan. Oh, did I do good? Did I kick good? Did I play the ball good? Like he's not. It's a dumb comparison. Whatever, man.
Look, guys. Look. I'll say this: in my journey with Christ, the last thing I look for is human appreciation. I don't. I serve the big guy. I serve JC. I serve the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I serve the kingdom of heaven. That's it. That's all I do all day long. Okay? And guys, big shout out to my brothers at the Redemption Home, the new ministry I'm going to be working with in Lake Hills, Texas. There it is. There it is. So, look, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put you in timeout. I can't take this anymore, man. Okay, there you go. Oh, geez, can we get on with it then, guys? What would you like to talk about, brother Ugo?
Well, the Usyk performance is great. As I mentioned, I wasn't surprised by the result.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna tell you. This says it all. And this is what separates Usyk from pretty much every American fighter at this time, except for Terrence Crawford, because they share this same mindset. right? So what did he say after the fight? When someone asked him, wow, you know what? How did you get motivated for this fight? Because you've done it all. Like, you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. You're an all-time great. You've cleaned out the elite of the division. How do you stay motivated? And he said this, and I thought it was very telling. Alexander Usyk said this. He said, no, look, motivation, you could be motivated one day and then the next day you're not. It comes and goes. Motivation is for amateurs. I have discipline. So whether I'm motivated or not, you're going to get 100%. I'm going to get 100% of myself in the gym and in the ring. I am a professional. And so I am disciplined, not motivated. That says it all, brother. That says it all. Now, once again, compare that to a guy like Ryan Garcia, a guy like Devin Haney, a guy like Teofimo Lopez, a guy like Gervonta Davis. Just name them. The only guy that you cannot accuse that of in America at this time is Terrence Crawford. He is the same way, whether he feels like it or not. He's going to go to that gym and work his ass off.
Yeah.
That says it all.
And it's no surprise to me that those guys that you spoke of just now are also the notable fighters right now that are active. Obviously, you have Crawford at the bottom of that list, but nonetheless, it is that mindset, that champion mindset, that the willingness to get in there and perform. Because me, I come from a background that I take my job responsibility serious. I have a sense of duty, so to me, it's the same deal. Wake up, do my stuff, look what I need to do, improve, get better. But they're the better of that example. It shows. That's why I support and I watch these fighters that do that. The fighters that respect themselves and respect the sports and respect the fans, like Usyk, Inoue, Bam. They're the top guys. That's why I don't listen to these dudes like Darrell or other people that are on the YouTube sphere that didn't cry about, oh, why don't you like Tank? Oh, you must hate that guy because it's this and that. You must hate him because he gets more money than you. He gets more. Like, what are we talking about, man? Anyways.
Now, once again, guys, this is nothing personal. I make my assessment, but I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less, man, about whether or not a fighter wins or loses. And I don't bet on a regular basis. So I couldn't care less. I really don't have any skin in the game unless I'm helping with the promotion of a fight card and I'm trying to publicize these fighters and I'm working with a fighter's career. Then otherwise, I couldn't care less. They're not signing my paycheck. So why would I care? Guys, this is nothing personal for me. And I wish it were. It would be a lot more fun at this time. Because I'll tell you this, I used to have a lot more fun watching the fights when when I wasn't in this business. Man, I used to really look up to these guys. These guys were superhuman to me back in the day. And as soon as I got in this business, well, I saw the real. And it was very disheartening. And so it's nothing personal to me. I don't care. I love the fight game and I love this business, but you know what? I don't care who wins and who loses.
Hey, you know where Timber Rail is at? Okay, thank you.
Right.
God bless you, brother. Be safe. Sorry about that. I'm here in my patio and a gentleman just asked me for directions. And I have no idea where he's going. So my apologies, guys. Yeah, look. Hold on. My address. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the show. Joseph, what do you think about Boots Ennis turning down prime paydays? What's he doing? Which one, sir? Tell me. Tell me what did he turn down? Look, and I'll tell you this. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I will say this. Do you remember back, Ugo, when I said Eddie Hearn is making a terrible mistake by giving this guy an inflated payday, $3 million to fight David Avanesian? Remember that?
Yeah.
Just to sign him.
Right.
Okay, so how much do you think he's going to be looking for when it comes time for him to fight someone like Brian Norman Jr.? Mario Barrios, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Sebastian Fundora.
Right. I don't know the exact number.
And look, guys, that's a problem now. If he gets 3 million rock fighting David Avanesian, how much realistically is he going to expect? Okay.
Yep.
Turkey offered Boots, Tszyu, and Virgil. One, what weight division? Once again, we've already ascertained that he cannot make 47 any longer. This is why he's moving up. Right?
Right.
And from what I've come to understand and from what I've been told, he wants Virgil Ortiz Jr. He doesn't want a tune-up to acclimate into the division. He's like, dude, I'm already this big. This is great. I get to weigh in 7 pounds over my weight limit that I've been weighing in my entire career, and I'm getting paid more money. Where do I sign? Guys, understand this. Ducking is a fan-driven concept that doesn't exist outside of the minds of the boxing diehard fans. Guys, these fighters are fighters. They want all that shit. They want all the smoke. Pardon my French. They want all the smoke. They want the greatest challenges, unless you're Devin Haney. And even then, I'll give him credit if he doesn't act like a little girl fighting Brian Orman Jr., because I'm sorry, he is talking so much jive. And boy, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. That's a great fight, and I'm actually impressed by him signing on the dotted line. Deal is done. Now, whether or not he goes through with that fight, it remains to be seen. But as of right now, he's on the marquee. He's on the fight poster. And I tip my do-rag to him. And so, guys, understand, ducking is a fan-driven concept that doesn't exist. Only in the minds of, oh, man, he's ducking that guy. No. These guys work their asses off in the gym. These guys work their asses off in the gym. And for what? To duck guys that they probably sparred with or fought in the amateurs? Guys, make it make sense. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm on this platform, right? To tell you guys the real. Because I've been in this business. I've seen this. What sense would it make? Oh, I'm avoiding this fighter. I've already fought in the amateurs twice. I sparred with him back when we were teenagers. Oh, yeah, but I'm going to avoid him for $3 to $4 million. Come on, guys. So are you saying that Boots isn't going to fight Ortiz this year? The last time I checked, that fight was happening. That fight was going to happen this year. Are you saying that both parties have not agreed to terms? That they're not going to fight? Especially for the kind of money that Turkey Al-Sheikh is throwing at him?
Yeah. That's all I'm waiting patiently. I thought all of this was just rumors. I don't know. So.
Wait a minute. So who is Virgil Ortiz going to fight? And who is Boots Ennis going to fight? Okay, so our brother James from the Boxing Source, the real journalist in the room, he says, yeah, Boots versus Virgil 2026. So what's on the agenda? Are they not going to fight at all the rest of the year?
That would be terrible. That would be counterproductive. I don't understand.
Look, guys, I don't watch the Boxing Voice because I can't stand that stuff. But I will say this. The little snippet I heard of Turkey Al-Sheikh is he said, look, background Mirza Zaliev. I talked to 3 or 4 other fighters at 54, and I'm not going to mention any names, but they're afraid of him. Now, once again, Turkey, your slip is showing. No one is afraid of anyone in this business, but is there such a thing as more risk than reward? Yes, absolutely. Is Bakram Murtazaliev, who couldn't sell out my living room on a Saturday night, is he more risk than reward at this time? Yes, you bet your ass. Why would you want to fight him when Fundora is a bigger draw? So once again, guys, understand that's a part of the business. Now, Brother James, hold on. If you're available, I'm going to drop the link, homie. Click on it, brother. Come on now. Hey, guys, in case you missed any part of our show on James's show, Boxing Source with Coach Ronnie Shields, it was a lot of fun, guys. So, guys, go check it out after this is finished, please. And he says, with Virgil Ortiz nursing, I didn't know he was nursing a hand injury. I had no idea. And Dominic, of course. You're wrong, James. Oh, okay. Yeah. Jeez. I swear. Fans know everything. Why are we even on here, Ugo? Because fans know everything.
Yeah, I'm just here to look pretty, you know. You're the more serious stuff.
Ching out, dude. No. Look, guys, as far as the day-to-day stuff, I really don't care. Because most of it is all nonsense and noise and means absolutely nothing. But I'll tell you what, guys. Do you remember what I said last week about Omaira Figueroa? Being the red herring, being the fly in the ointment, the pain in the ass, the big distraction for Mario Barrios? Look, Darrell, dude, why don't you take your panties and go somewhere else, brother? I want to put you in timeout again. Gee, wow, man. These little girls, man. I swear, dude. My goodness, man. So yeah, we'll be waiting on Brother James. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him on here again. So here to there says, interesting. If I were Boots, I would have rolled the dice, starved myself. No. You don't starve yourself and give away your advantage. Once again, guys, a fight against someone at the level of Teofimo Lopez, you don't want to give him any advantage. Because let's just be honest, a catch weight or having to kill yourself to make a certain weight never benefits the larger fighter. Always benefits the smaller guy. Okay, Dominic, look, this is easy to understand, brother. I don't know why you guys are playing a bunch of little girls. Okay, look, he's saying that Virgil has a hand injury and won't fight Boots because of that injury until 2026. But that doesn't mean he won't fight a tune-up or a stay busy fight or a lesser opponent. That's what that means, Dominic. 1 + 1 = 2, brother. And Eric Gomez, yes, you've got the beat. Yeah, why don't you ask Miguel Cotto if it benefited fighting Manny Pacquiao at 145, losing just 2 pounds. Oh, it was only 2 pounds. And hey, man, Miguel Cotto, he looked in great shape. No, he was killing himself. Having to lose 2 more pounds during fight week when he's already killing himself. That never benefits the larger man. Catch weights and killing yourself to make smaller weights always benefits the smaller fighter. So Boots is not going to give that luxury to Teofimo Lopez, because you don't do that when you're facing a guy as talented as Teofimo Lopez. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm being nice about that. But guys, make no mistake, if you didn't know, now you know, Alexander Usyk is an all-time great, and we stated that to you last week. Where's you this so I can tell him that? But guys, let's move on. Let's go to the PBC fight card. In the main event of the evening, Manny Pacquiao gets a majority draw with the current WBC title holder, and I use that loosely. This is Mario Barrios' second consecutive draw, and he still has the title. Don't be shocked, guys, if Devin Haney backs out of this fight and elects to fight Mario Barrios next. Don't be surprised if he backs out of this Brian Norman Jr. fight.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. I was actually thinking the same thing. That's what it seems like. That's what's going on. You know, when Mario Barrios, he's such a. Seems like he's told what to do. I don't know.
Well, I tell you what,
Bob
Santos, did you hear Bob Santos in his corner during the fight? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And Brother T. Sanders. Woo! Oh, I love it, man. Look, guys. I told you guys this was going to be a huge distraction. Everyone's, oh, he just sucks. And, oh, he was showing Manny too much respect. Yeah, I agree. He was showing Manny too much respect in the final 3 rounds. But make no mistake about it, in the first 2/3 of the fight, Manny's footwork, the old man was giving him problems. And he was distracted all week with his baby mama and his little girl there all week. If you ask me, and I said this last week, PBC really screwed him by putting Brandon Figueroa on the undercard. Because who's his conditioning coach? Omaira Figueroa, his baby mama, who have been involved in a terrible breakup where she's been keeping his daughter from him.
Damn.
I told you guys this was going to be an issue. And it was. Did you see him not listening to his trainer, Bob Santos? 2022 Trainer of the Year. Did you see that?
Yeah, he for sure looked out of it. A lot of people have pointed that out. Even people that I watched the event with, they were yeah, it makes sense now. I wasn't even aware of the whole deal. I stay away from the whole.
And once again, yeah, nasty work. Guys, what other podcasts did you hear that on? None. And why? Because I'm in this business, guys. Like, I'll be honest. I'll tell you, December 27th. I can tell you right now, December 27th, you know, he's getting knocked the F out. Dominic, news that's important or news that doesn't matter? I told you guys she was going to be a factor in this matchup. And yes, she was. He was distracted all week. And it showed during the fight. Boy, Bob Santos was on that ass. That was hilarious. He's like, what are you doing? Don't let Manny Pacquiao referee this fight. And I'm like, Bob, why aren't you telling the referee anything then, brother? I'll tell you why, because Thomas Taylor would have whooped your ass. Thomas Taylor's got the 20-inch pythons, brother. You tell him something. Like, dude, I'll tell you this. If I were Dominic, if he were fighting and I were his chief second, do you really think I'd be telling Dominic, hey, don't let him? No, I would be getting on that referee's ass. Not my fighter. And that's the truth. All right, man, I don't have time for this. I'm putting you in timeout too. Dominic, you're an idiot. Oh, goodness gracious. Guys, once again, guys, I'm not here to make enemies. And I'm not here to entertain trolls. I'm here to tell you guys exactly what I know to be true. Let's talk about this, though, guys. Where does Manny Pacquiao go from here? And if anyone mentions Floyd Mayweather's name, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. But I think at this point, there's not much of a buzz. Floyd has had a lot of issues with his exhibition fights, right? He's all over.
Well, who else does PBC have, my friend?
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis is going to be out for the foreseeable future. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if he were out for good. His mind has not been in the business. And we all saw that against Lamont Roach Jr. Mr. Jerry Curl in the eye. And now he's going to be out, and he might go to the Huskow again. So David Benavidez is going to be fighting on a Turkey All Sheet card in November. Who do they have? In steps Manny Pacquiao with his ace in the hole, baby mama. So now with this draw and a respectable performance against the current WBC champion, yeah, you can see him making Floyd Mayweather Jr. the long-awaited rematch. And WBC president Mauricio Suleiman coming up. We have made a special welterweight title. It's going to be the title of the legends. It's going to be the legendary belt.
Wow.
And no, Manny does not run back the Mario Barrios fight. He fights Floyd Mayweather Jr. later on. And Floyd's going to be turning 39 in February. Look, and second runner-up, what's the backup? What's the contingency plan if Floyd wants too much money? Rolly Romero for his WBC or WBA regular title. Manny versus Rolly. Can you imagine the build-up to that fight?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Eric, was he ranked to get, did he deserve a WBC title shot this time? He was ranked number 5. They put him in the rankings. But no, does that even matter? Guys, these sanction organizations, when are you guys going to learn? They have zero credibility at this time. This is the weakest. This is the weakest the sanctioning organizations have ever been since I've been watching boxing. By far. You mean to tell me Gilberto Mendoza would tell Manny Pacquiao, sorry, buddy, you're not getting a shot? You think so? What do you think, Google?
No, absolutely not. Logically speaking, no, it doesn't make any sense. They need to bring something to show for the PVC product. I mean, that's only logical. It's Floyd. But the buzz is pretty. But like you said, yeah, those are the most likely. I want to say the Rolly fight would probably happen. It makes sense. But no,
what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Manny just hang it up for good. Come on now, Manny. But no, there was a draw. And you know what? I wish I could say that they were being nice to Manny, but no, I scored it just like Steve Weisfeld and Tim Cheatham. Well, shit, look at that name. Imagine being a boxing judge and having a last name Cheatham. Dude, yeah, I'm an attorney. I work for the attorney Dewey Cheatham and Howe. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, brother. If Floyd Mayweather wants too much damn money, then that's the plan. Rolly versus Pac-Man, and it's a big, big ticket. Guys, my brother, God's Will Walker, love you, brother. He was on the floor, and they gave him a $10,000 ticket. Floor seats were going for $10,000. The first 3 rows were going for 25 grand. That's how much money they made at the gate. You're going to see the numbers come out. Brother, you didn't listen to the show last week, did you? That was a nasty, nasty breakup. Nasty breakup. And it was a huge distraction all week.
Damn.
Hold on. I'm going to put this dude in timeout again. I don't feel like dealing with this tonight. Okay, there it is. Sayonara. Guys, look, and once again, this is, and I used to tell my brother, Ryan from Boxing Gems, I love his channel. He's really good at what he does. But make no mistake about it, in boxing, it's often the other intangibles that determine the winner and how well you perform. Look at the Dubois fight. Now, he was already up against it. He was already the betting underdog. But when you don't show up to the stadium until 8 p.m., an hour and a half before you're expected to walk to the ring, come on. That's terrible. Yeah, that was a huge distraction. But once again, that's what they wanted. They wanted him to be distracted so he wouldn't get into his own head. That bulbous 10-gallon head of his. So once again, guys, it's often the other intangibles that determine the winner of these prize fights. It's not just the keys to victory. It's not just the what do you call it? It's not just the X's and O's in the ring, right? Oh, my brother, boxing source, James. I didn't see you there, my friend.
No, I just jumped on. I just jumped on.
Very good, brother. Very good. Your thoughts on well, we're not even going to mention the trolls, but who does Drawn Boots in his fights? Because look, guys, we're only about to exit the month of July. There's still half a year left. Who does he fight?
My thing is, I don't know if they'll resurrect this idea with Yoenis Tejas, but you got to see what's up with the WBO rankings.
Wait a minute. There's no way in Hades Boots Ennis fights Yoenis Tejas. That's too much risk for the reward. There's not enough money because Boots is not going to fight for chump change. And Yoenis Tejas take on a big puncher like that at 54 in his first fight. Yeah, he's going to want to get paid, and there's not enough.
So then what would be the options out there for Boots Ennis in his first fight? You know,
once again, man, dude, he's got a good relationship with Al Heyman and PBC. Take on Fundora. That's a huge fight.
Yeah, it's a huge fight.
Take on the winner of Murtazaliev versus which is just ordered Eric Lubin. But the winner's not going to be ready by the end of the year.
All right. So it looks like they got him at number 4 in the WBO.
Hey, take on Sergey Boachuk.
There you go.
Take on Sergey Boachuk. He doesn't have an opponent.
Yep. That should be the one. Boachuk.
Look, Jesus, Floyd Schofield competes at 35 and Norman at 47. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that I think the Boacek is the one right there.
And honestly, that's a style that's tailor-made for Boots Ennis. Guys, Sergey Boachuk will make Boots Ennis at 54 look like Shakur Stevenson. Take that to the bank. He's not like Virgil Ortiz. Boots Ennis is a completely different style. And the last time I checked, what do they say about boxing? Styles make fights?
Styles make fights.
There it is, guys. That's why I make the big bucks.
So yep, that should be the move right there.
Oh man, I tell you what was your favorite fight this weekend, Ugo?
I gotta say, man, it's hard to. I like Usyk and Bam. They were great fights for a different reason.
Let's shift gears, guys. Let's go to the super flyweight division, guys. Boy, I hate to say this, but Cafu was snafu. Oh my goodness, I felt bad for the young African. He was game. He had a good fight plan until he didn't. And as soon as Bam figured him out and found that range, it was over. After round 8, he was punishing Cafu. Man, dude, that was vicious. That was brutal, man.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Cafu was going to be turned into tofu or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, stop it. That's pretty good, though, James. So what was hold on, Darrell, what was your favorite fight? And yes, Jesus, God is Lord. Yes, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We love you and we praise you. What was your favorite fight this weekend, homie? And Dominic, what was your favorite fight this weekend? Because I tell you what, Bam Rodriguez, he looked as good. Look, the 3 standout performances this weekend were Alexander Usyk, obviously, Sebastian Fundora, and Bam Rodriguez. Oh my word! And look, honorable mention. I'll give honorable mention to Pitbull Cruz.
Nah, well,
I felt bad for that dude. He punished Salcido.
You know who I would give honorable mention towards? You know it's biased. Mr. Gary Russell Jr.
Oh, I forgot about him. Left hook Gary. And guys, it's my pleasure to introduce at this time my brother, Eudis. Welcome to the show, Eudis. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, who was telling you that O'Mara was going to be that fly in the ointment, brother?
Yeah, but well, good evening. First of all, thank you everyone for being here. And I don't know, maybe just Mario Barrios, he just sucks.
Yeah. You know
Man.
what? That too, brother. But look, you could see it in Bob Santos's face. If he just sucked, Bob Santos wouldn't have been as livid as he was. James, am I lying about that?
No, you're not. Oof, goodness, he just railed on him.
Well, what about the corner? Last time we saw a very bad fight in David Morrell. He's probably not good enough of a fighter to be in Ronnie's corner.
Oh, you mean he's not? You don't think Bob Santos, trainer of the year 2022, is a good trainer?
Sometimes, no. What I mean is that sometimes trainers and boxers just don't match. Let's say.
That is a very good point. I'll tell you this, though. You can't hang this on Bob Santos because who else was in Mario's corner? James, one of the best technicians, one of the best X and O's trainers in boxing, Rich Barrientes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so you had both of them in the corner.
Yeah, when a trainer has more good things than bad things, you can just go and blame the trainer. It's like, I don't know, Ismael Salas and Joe Joyce. These guys don't match.
Oh, gosh, Ismael Salas is one of the smartest trainers in boxing. You're right about that. But look, you could bring Angelo Dundee, Eddie Futch, Okay. Goody Petronelli out from the grave, and it wouldn't help Joe Joyce.
No, neither could help Mario Barrios.
Well, look. Bob Santos wouldn't have been that furious in the corner if he didn't think his guy could do more and do better. Let's be honest, James. Do you think Mario Barrios, if he had put his foot on the gas, could have gotten Manny out of there in rounds 10, 11, and 12?
Yeah, if he did what he did in round 12 and round 10, then yeah, he would have gotten him out of there.
Guys, look, my address has the beat. Mario's his head was in the clouds. I tell you what, if I had just broken up with Omaira Figueroa, my head would have been somewhere else also. And dude, we talked about that last week. And from what I was told, she was a big distraction all week. They really screwed him by putting Brandon on the undercard. And look, dude, and come on. We've all seen Omaira Figueroa. You can't blame the guy. You cannot blame the guy. She's as fine as wine, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're a champion, if you're a WBC champion, you can get even better ladies.
Look, that's Alexander Usyk talk. That's Terrence Crawford talk. These guys aren't anything like that. These guys are still human, and they're young men. Mario Barrios, he's not 30 yet, is he?
I think he just turned 30 recently.
Okay. Well, see, when I was 30, yeah, I was still, not making the sound decisions I am now. Welcome to the stage. I've never heard of this person, but I'm gonna welcome this gentleman to the stage. Neverfold Sports, welcome to the show, sir.
What's good, bro?
How you doing, my friend? What was your favorite performance this week and your favorite fight?
Before I get to answering that question, but we actually spoke on another panel. I don't know if you into bring in other panels, but we spoke. This is like last week, I would say.
Oh, that's right. We did speak on H Money's channel. Very good. Welcome to the show, sir. Good to see you, man. God bless you, brother.
No, it was good.
Oh, that's right. I remember I was getting in somewhat of a verbal tussle with someone who claimed to be the CEO of Gervonta Davis Promotions or something like that.
Yeah, Chop. Big Chop.
I have no idea who that is, but it's obvious he doesn't know anything about this business. And once again, and I mentioned this, James, what do we call a promoter without TV dates in this business?
Just a overblown manager, basically.
A glorified manager, yes. So once again, if you sign a prospect with no TV dates, what are you going to do with them? You think they're going to be happy fighting on a club show? Because you've already paid him a ridiculous signing bonus if he's talented. So how are you going to make any money? You're just going to do that, lose money to keep him busy? So once again, if you don't have any TV dates, what are you going to do with him? So I tell all my fighters, if they're looking to sign with bigger promoters, I always tell them, look at these three things, guys. Does your promoter who's courting you, does he have TV dates and how many? And number two, who are their matchmakers? Last time I checked, Gervonta Davis doesn't have a matchmaker.
Nope.
He depends on Tom Brown and Ron Katz of PBC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and third, how many other competing fighters in their stable do they have in my weight division?
Yep.
And
Not a lot.
And if you can't check off all three of those boxes, then you shouldn't sign with them. Now, Neverfold, was I wrong about any of those?
No, you're speaking from what you learn and what you experience. So, 9 out of 10 people that's in the business definitely know what you're talking about. So yeah.
So that's it, brother. So what's on your mind tonight, my friend? The floor is yours, brother.
And I felt like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we got robbed last weekend, man. No?
In what sense, my friend?
Okay, Dubois is supposed to bring it. Like he fought a terrible fight, although I had him winning, which was a third round. Like all the things
Look. To be fair, Neverfold. I think Usyk had a little bit to do with that.
That's true.
So keep going, sir. Go ahead.
So even when now I'm hearing he had a party before the fight. He showed up to the.
Yeah, I talked about that before. This is why they had to back out of the Joseph Parker fight earlier this year, because according to Frank Warren, his promoter, his longtime promoter ever since he turned pro, right?
Yeah.
He claims that Daniel Dubois starts getting stomach ailments. His stomach starts getting in knots and he starts throwing up and he starts getting sick. And so to keep that distraction from happening, before the Anthony Joshua fight, they did the same thing. They threw him a party, but he wasn't the IBF champion at the time, and it wasn't nearly as popular. And so what happened? What was the result? Yeah, he stayed out of his own head, went into Wembley Stadium and whooped that ass. Yeah. Now, they were hoping that lightning could strike twice. And everyone that I've spoken to today said, well, something happened where a lot more people showed up than we had anticipated. And so he didn't even show up to Wembley Stadium until 8 p.m., an hour and a half before he went and fought.
That's crazy.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. So that's the reason. But look, if you're thinking that he pulled a Berman Stivern before the Deontay Wilder fight and partied like it was 1999, no, he didn't. Daniel Dubois doesn't even drink.
Yeah.
So they did this to try and keep him from getting into his own head and his nerves getting the better of them. That's why.
Hey, Joe. Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey, it's my nephew, Anthony Manzano. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, based off his performance last weekend, I think the next fight for Sebastian, to be honest, is either going to be Ramos or Virgil.
You talking about
Seabass.
Sebastian Fundora?
Yeah, Seabass.
You know what? Jesus Ramos Jr., that's a great fight.
How about him versus Virgil?
No, not so great fight. And once again, Jesus Ramos makes a lot more sense, except can he still make 54? James?
Hopefully I can get in touch with them. Let's see if I can find out.
Look, I'm very tight with the Ramos camp, guys.
Okay.
I'll find out tomorrow. But I will say this, I don't think he can make 54 again.
Yeah, I've said this multiple times. When I look at Jesus, he looks like a light heavyweight.
He's a big dude. He's a big, strong, physical middleweight.
Yeah.
And he looks the same. He looks.
Look. If you're wondering why he didn't let his hands go against the Erickson Lubin fight, that's why. Also, guys, make no mistake about it. Erickson Lubin is a much harder puncher than people give him credit for. They look at him and they say, "Oh, he's got a glass chin," but yeah, you got to hit him, and something's going to be coming back. He's a razor sharp counterpuncher. Erickson Lubin is no joke, guys. This is why he's earned that slot to fight Bakram Murtazaliev, and he's going to take that fight. Make no mistake about it, guys. He's no one's patsy, and honestly, I think it's a great fight.
They're saying
he's gonna touch. Look, as long as it lasts, it's going to be a great fight, guys. How many all-action great fights have we seen Erickson Lubin in?
Good number of them. Let's see. I was at the Banana Rosario fight in Atlanta.
Woo!
He had the Sebastian Fundora fight.
Woo!
I wasn't at that fight.
Did he fight what's his name? Mendoza?
Nah, he
Brian Mendoza. I don't know. Did he fight Brian Mendoza from Albuquerque?
No, he hasn't fought Brian Mendoza yet.
Look, I'll be honest, guys. This is a much more intriguing fight than most people give credit. I really like it. And you know what? Right now, Since Turkey Al-Sheikh announced that people view Bakram Murtazaliev as being more risk than reward, I'll take it. I just want to see the big Ruski in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I saw rumors, Joe and James, that I'm not sure if you saw this, that they're saying that Sebastian might move up to 160.
While he
avoid
still has
Sanchez?
the titles here, no way in Hades.
Nah.
Dude,
Not
What a
why-
coincidence.
Why would he move up to a weight division where there's no money? All the money's at 54, brother.
54.
There's not really a lot of fights at 160.
Not at all.
You tell me, brother. That's the problem Top Rank's been having with your what's his name? Janabek Ali Manala.
Yeah,
How about that fight, Sebastian versus Janabek?
I'd be afraid for Sebastian Fundora.
I'm not even too confident that Janabek may stay in 160 much longer.
No, he's going to move up to 68.
Yeah, see?
Like, honestly, I would love to see Hamza Shiraz versus Janabek Ali Manala.
Oh,
That's
I,
a great fight.
guys, I don't know why. I don't know why every time I hear some of these fighters are moving up, at the same time I have the feeling that they are trying to avoid a dangerous fight.
Look, it depends. Where's the money? Where's the money? If they're
Is there
moving up, if they're moving up to a bigger money division, then that's why they're moving up.
160 is not one. Yes, not a big money.
160, there's no money there. Where you think there's money in a fight with Erzlan Lara? Come on now. You think there's money in a fight with Carlos? No ticket selling Adames? No. Guys, come on. This is a business. This is a business. Yes, Dominic, that's a very good topic. Let's talk about this, guys. Joe, this Saturday is Top Ranked last fight card in ESPN. Any word? What? No, Dominic, a very good question, my friend. And yes, Ramos versus Fundora. If Ramos can make weight, that is the fight to make for
the
PBC.
fight. Yep.
That's a great fight.
You don't think Oscar would work with PBC?
Oscar
For
will
Fundora?
work with anyone.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Didn't Oscar help put together Gervonta Davis versus his cash cow, Ryan Garcia?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so guys, let's not talk about this. Look, haven't we seen since Turkey Al-Sheikh's involvement? Haven't we seen unprecedentedly every promoter work with each other?
Yep.
Guys, don't even bring that up anymore because
Turkey's almost like a middleman.
End of the rainbow. They're going to work together.
Yeah.
No,
Joseph.
that's what I'm saying. Virgil versus Sebastian.
So I'm sorry, Ugo, did you have something to say, or was it never?
That was me.
Oh yes, sir. The floor is yours, brother.
Let me ask you this question, right? Do you think that the Pacquiao versus Barrios fight, did Barrios take a dive? And I was saying that we got to see the contract because there ain't no way Barrios fought the way that he fought. It looked, that fight looked like.
Well, do you remember what I mention the Omaira Figueroa factor when I was on your platform last?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I told you that she was going to be a big distraction all week, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I told you that baby mama being in the front row is going to be a distraction. Did you see him look as focused? Dude, once again, we talked about this already. And James, once again, I want to point this out. If Mario was taking it easy, then you would have never seen Bob Santos erupt the way he was. If he just sucked ass and he wasn't that good, then you would have never seen the demon come out of Bob Santos.
Yeah.
Man, I think Barrios took a dive, man. We got to see that contract, bro.
I don't think he took a dive.
Look, guys. This is, and it's funny. Even and I talked about this, I think, on last week on your platform. Even when the mob used to run boxing, they treated it just like their casinos. They never paid their fighters to take dives, and why? because the fans aren't stupid and they would have eventually caught on and just lost interest in the product. Like in the casinos, it's the exact same way. What they do is they stack the odds in their favor, but they don't rig the games. If they rigged the games, everyone would find out.
See, Joe, and this is where what confuses me though. Didn't Listen take a dive during his fight?
That was an anomaly, and yes, because he was heavily favored, and he owed the Mob terrible amounts of money. He was an enforcer for the Mob guys before he became champion. They owned his ass, and that was an anomaly. That wasn't common. You can always find anomalies, guys.
So that was a rare case.
That's what an anomaly means.
Yeah.
What about Lista?
That's
Sonny
what he
Liston?
just said. He said Sonny Liston.
Harry Greb, Canzoneri, they took dives. Mackie Rosenblum.
Wait,
Look, guys,
who is he talking about?
Harry
Castellaneri?
Greb. Look, he's talking
Tony
about
Canzoneri.
look, once again, those were anomalies. They didn't happen frequently. That's why you've heard of them. Now, once again, guys, look at what's happening in the Epstein case, right? There's always, and look at P. Diddy. There's always a smoking gun now, isn't there? There's always a whistleblower. So if there were fighters taking dives, we would find out about it. People love to be the whistleblower. They immediately become famous overnight. You mean to tell me if dives were actually frequent, the FBI wouldn't know about it, we wouldn't hear about it, there wouldn't be any whistleblowers? In this era of pocket recorders and pocket cameras, we wouldn't know about it? Come on, guys.
Also, Joe, you know, boxing is the Wild Wild West. Anybody can
Yes,
do
it is.
whatever they do. So, like, if the FBI wanted to, they would have been try to investigate.
Isn't that what the shadow boxing investigation
Look,
was?
guys, just ask anyone who worked for Don King, including our brother Rick Glazier, right? Guys, he'll tell you that the IBS or the FBI tried to actually build a case against cheating in boxing and the mob involvement in boxing for decades. They never had shit. They never found anything. And why? Because that's just a terrible rumor. Once again, the mob always had anomalies. Maybe a random case here or there, but it wasn't the norm because they never would have been able to stay in business for 2 decades.
Yeah, no. It's funny you should bring that investigation up. I watch Michael Francis.
Oh, hold on. Champ Ross, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey.
James, what do you say about this one, brother?
Hey, hey. The wink, I guess.
Look, I'll be honest, guys, and I was at this fight, and I used to be friends with both Malik and Deontay. And I talked to them both after this fight, and I even had Deontay Wilder on my podcast. Before it was called a podcast, it was Blog Talk Radio. It was the Pugilist Corner. And I spoke to Deontay Wilder, and he said, no, that's my brother, man. He would never take a dive. He would never take a dive. But upon watching it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, yeah, I think he took a dive.
Oh, Blog Talk Radio. Where have you gone, Blog Talk Radio?
Oh, the good old days. Remember that?
Yep.
I remember. This is a true story about Blog Talk Radio, guys. It's a Pugilist Corner. I remember I used to work with what was his name? James. He used to book fighters, and I would just be the host, and he would get fighters in the queue. And we had booked Mike Stafford and Virgil Hunter in consecutive segments. And Mike Stafford, I remember James queuing me in and saying, hey, Virgil's in the queue. So I was trying to get Mike Stafford off, and he would never leave. he kept on talking for another 15 minutes, and we had 6 guests for 2 hours in 20-minute segments. And Virgil finally comes on with only 5 minutes left, and he goes, "Hey, thank you for inviting me on here, but this is the last time I'm ever going to come on the show because I didn't come on to hear Mike Stafford talk for 15 minutes during my segment. So thanks, but no thanks." And then he hung up. Yeah, so that was Virgil Hunter. That was the only time we ever featured him. And look, I like Virgil, but yeah, that was Mike Stafford. He wouldn't be quiet. He wouldn't get off.
Guys, I heard you talking about Ennis moving up, and I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed that he's trying to take tune-ups and he's not going directly for a champion.
Question for you. Virgil Ortiz Jr. When he went up to 154, who was his first fight?
No one knows.
He took 2 fights.
First round knockout, hook to the liver.
Wasn't it Delorme, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it was Delorme and Lawson. Those fights weren't even 154 because he didn't make weight.
That Delorme fight looked like a dodge to me.
He hit him right in the liver, and that was all she wrote, right?
Yeah.
Body shot.
But Virgil wasn't a champion, and Ennis is a champion, a unified champion, and he's going up for a tune-up. I thought he would go up for at least Mortazalier because they're on the same sanction body.
Well, look, here's the problem, guys, and now we're going to start talking about the business again, Neverfold. The problem is he is the recipient of inflated purses, Duran Butsenis, and I think Eddie Hearn has actually done a very good job in creating him to be a ticket seller in the Philadelphia and Atlantic City areas. I think he's done a very good job. But now, after receiving $3 million rocks after fighting David Avanesian, $3 million, how much is he going to demand for a simple tune-up at 54? The same amount at least. Who are you going to get that's going to generate $3 million rock as an opponent for Duran Butsenis? That's the quandary. If a fighter is already grown accustomed to making big money, who are you going to get? You have to get a decent opponent in order to make that kind of money, guys. That's the problem. Like, this is the problem with Usyk fighting again. This is the problem with Joseph Parker fighting at that level. He's got to have an attractive B-side, or else it's not going to generate the kind of money that they're looking for. In my opinion, Usyk never fights again unless he fights Tyson Fury a third time. And who the hell wants to see that?
But
Nobody.
I want to see it because I think that's the only guy that can actually do Usyk. And I don't like Fury. I hate him.
What did you say?
I said that I want to
never
see.
fooled. I'm sorry. Go on.
I'm saying
No, I wouldn't want to watch Fury third time with Usyk.
Hold on, you this. I want to hear what Neverfold was saying.
So I'm saying I want to see a trilogy versus Usyk and Fury because I think that's the only guy that has a higher percentage of beating him. Everybody else is like you wouldn't bet money on him to beat Usyk.
At this stage of Tyson Fury's career, I'm not sure he can be competitive any longer, especially after the layoff that he's already had. Right.
And he looked worse in the second fight, in my opinion. He didn't look better.
Yeah,
he looked worse.
Look, in the first fight, he all but had it won in the mid to late rounds. But once again, if you're fighting a cerebral predator, an all-time great like Alexander Usyk, and you have him hurt, you better put your foot on the gas and get his ass out of there, or else he's going to make the adjustment and whip your ass. Right? You this while I'm talking, brother. Put yours on mute, okay?
All right.
Thank you, my friend. I think, yeah, so there's no more feedback. Thank you, this. I'm sorry, brother. And look, Tyson Fury had him beaten up, and he was making it look like easy work until the 8th round. Alexander Usyk made that adjustment, started taking the fight, started taking it to Tyson Fury, buzzed him a little bit, and then, just cleaned his clock in the 9th. Guys, that's what happens when you fight special fighters. So what happened in the rematch? Tyson Fury was afraid to take any risks.
Yep.
Played it safe from mid to long range. And he didn't do anything to win the fight. It was an easy fight to score.
Now, Joseph,
What makes us think that the third fight's going to be any different?
Now, Joseph, let me say this, right? A lot of people saying that Usyk clean house, but he still haven't faced Joseph Parker or Caballero. Them is like, other than Tyson Fury, they the two best that could possibly, beat Usyk, especially with Caballero with the style that he got,
I agree, but the problem is, and this is why Turkey Al-Sheikh is calling for Moses Italma. Because he understands, he's learning the business, right? Even though I think Frank Warren is never going to allow it, but he understands, hey, if this guy knocks Dillian White into retirement, then that's the biggest money fight for Alexander Usyk on the island. Correct me if I'm wrong, Big James.
I wouldn't agree with that because the Tama is being pushed by UK base, right? A lot
That's
of
right.
people
The healthiest
don't know.
market in boxing at this time outside of Japan.
Yeah, so a lot of casuals don't know who he is. So it's like, I think they should keep building him. Maybe that can be Usyk like last fight or something, and he's not even ready. Like we don't even know if he's gonna get past Dillian White. Dillian White.
No. He's gonna get past Dillian White. He's gonna
I'm not
knock
saying
him out
that
in
he's
the
not
second
going
round.
to, but we know Dillian White is not good, but he still has power.
He's shot.
He still has
spark
power.
him out. He's gonna spark him out.
Look, I already addressed this, Neverfold, and I'll tell you why that they're gonna have a hard time making Usyk versus Parker. Because both guys are gonna want a terrible ransom for this assignment, and where are you going to put this fight?
UK.
Are you
Neither
sure?
one of them are based in the UK.
Neither one of them have fan bases in the UK.
I mean, technically, right now, the UK supporting Usyk like he from there.
That was only because he was fighting the guy who knocked out Anthony Joshua. Who are the Anthony Joshua fans supporting this past Saturday? Usyk, that's right. They were supporting Usyk.
Yeah.
Because Usyk, to them, he's an ally because he beat the shit out of Tyson Fury. Longtime nemesis of Anthony Joshua. But take Tyson Fury, take Dubois out of the equation. Who supports Usyk on the island? Nobody. He doesn't have look, if that were the case, he would have fought Dubois in the UK the first time. Christchuk would have never taken him to Poland.
Yeah.
Once again, where do you put this fight? And both guys are going to want more than $25-30 million for this. Who's going to pay that licensing fee?
For me, nothing makes more sense than the UK. For me, if you got any other places, you can say them. But for me, I think only the UK makes sense.
That's right. That's currently the home for heavyweight boxing, isn't it? But unfortunately, Joseph Parker couldn't sell out my living room on a Saturday night. Where are you going to put this fight where it makes the most sense?
Yeah, and then after that, he actively fights boring. So the appeal is just not there, between the hardcores and the casual fans. I think there's nothing really good about the guy. No offense. I mean, he's a guy that's next in line, but as you spelled it out, I mean, it's not. He can't sell anywhere. I don't know where.
Guys, there's not enough money anywhere to support that. And look, Anthony Manzano brings up something very interesting. You could sell this fight in the UK or in Australia, or in New Zealand. But Jayo Pataya is not going to move up to heavyweight. Not right now. He owns the cruiserweight division at this time. He's a big star. He's a blossoming star. He's in the same boat as Moses Italma, and he's not going to relinquish anything to move up to heavyweight.
Hey, Joe.
But I will say this, guys, off topic, and I have to bring this up because Anthony Manzano wants me to. My nephew. Joe, off topic, what are your thoughts on the passing of Ozzy Osbourne? I read reports that he had been dealing with all. Yeah. Look, guys, this is what happens with rampant drug use. Look at Michael J. Fox. Or shots to the head. Look at Freddie Roach. Guys, this is why you don't play boxing, and this is why you don't play with drugs. Because it always results in either Parkinson's or pre-dementia or permanent psychosis. You're off your rocker. And Ozzy was all three of those. Unfortunately, God rest his soul. He's one of my heroes. I still sing Ozzy Osbourne whenever I'm in cover bands.
Oh, that
So,
was,
God bless Ozzy Osbourne. God rest his soul. I hope he found Jesus before he passed away.
shit.
Anyone have any comments on Ozzy?
Yeah, I do. Rest in peace.
Newfold, you
Rest-
didn't listen to Ozzy?
What you said, Joseph?
Yeah, I said Newfold. You never listened to Ozzy Osbourne?
I've been seeing people posting this picture. I actually don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's one of my heroes. He was lead singer for Black Sabbath. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. One for being a solo artist, one for being the singer of Black Sabbath. He's one of my heroes. One of the most, probably the most iconic metal musician of all time.
Yeah.
You never listen to Ozzy? I'll take that as a big no. Cool. What have anything to say about Ozzy Osbourne?
Of course I did.
Where you want to go?
God rest his soul. And I think he. I don't know if I'm correct here, but I think they created heavy metal.
Black Sabbath? You can make that argument, yes.
Yeah, man. We're gonna miss him.
Ozzy was, he's an all-time great, guys. He's one of my heroes. Google, what's your favorite Ozzy album or song or whatever?
Man, War Pigs is good. Obviously, Iron Man. He has a lot of badass songs, man. The recent one that the song that I listened to actually a while back, and I was thinking about his career and all that shit. Well, was God Is Dead. That was a good song too. It's underplayed. It's not played at all, really. It's a
Talking
good
about
song.
the last Black Sabbath album with Ozzy?
Yeah, God Is Dead.
Man,
The song.
that
Yeah,
album
it's
was
fucking
great.
badass. Yeah, he's truly. Yeah, it was a terrible. I didn't believe it at
Hold
first.
on. This is I've gotta nip this in the bud here, guys. Dominic says, isn't Ozzy's music satanic? That's like saying, aren't Stephen King's books satanic? It's entertainment, brother. It's entertainment. Ronnie James Dio was a devout Christian. He made an album called Holy Diver. Come on, guys. Don't do that.
Anyone gonna mention Changes?
Oh gosh, I love Changes. Black Sabbath.
And then, well, the thing with Iron Man, of course, is like one of the more common marching band songs in America. So,
guys, make no mistake, everything off of the Paranoid album is gold. Anything off of the Masters of Reality album is gold. Guys, anything off of the Blizzard of Oz album is gold. Dude, Diary of a Madman, all of it. Dude, his entire catalog is iconic gold, guys. I love Ozzy. He's one of my musical heroes. And there will never be another Ozzy Osbourne. Well, I can tell you this, Dominic. You would never catch Ozzy Osbourne at a P. Diddy party. What I'm saying is Ozzy Osbourne wasn't gay. So, yes, I said that. Fuck was. Did I just say that out loud on the air? I'm sorry, guys. Guys, is that... See, I don't even know because I don't listen to that stuff. But was it true? Was Tupac gay?
I don't know about all that.
Some people
Tell
say,
me. I'm asking.
You know, I can't necessarily get into the industry like that, but if he was, well, I wouldn't be. Given the music industry, if he was, I wouldn't be surprised. I can say that.
well, there is a few clips from before he became a big star where he shows certain mannerisms and stuff like that. And some people say that maybe something like De La Hoya when he was young.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
It's right there.
He's gay? Chingao. Yeah, his wife wouldn't take exception to that. What's his wife's name? What's his girlfriend's name currently? Oscar De La Hoya?
Oh, correct. Oh, I forgot her name.
She used to be a member of the media. You remember? What's her name? Neverfold. What's Oscar's girlfriend's name currently?
Man, I don't know, but you're weirdo. Man. You're weird.
What?
She looked like somebody.
Oh, you know what? Hey, dude, you know what? God bless her, man, because I will say
Holly Saunders.
Holly, that's right. Holly, thank you, my friend. Look, Neverfold, I know what you're saying. Holly, before plastic surgery, was gorgeous.
You just got a feedback.
Sorry,
No, that's
sorry.
you. That's you. This. Press mute, brother. So look, Holly. Most people don't know this, and I know this to be true. This is what I was told. Holly is the one who's responsible for making all of the Clapback Thursdays. She's a really creative girl. She used to be a member of the media. She's really smart.
Yeah, it's very surprising. I've heard the same thing.
No, that's the truth. That's why. But look,
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say this, brother. Neverfold has the beat. I'll never understand, and I think it's demonic influence, man. You have to pray for all of the beautiful young ladies who feel compelled to have plastic surgery once they start getting older. Because it's terrible, and it's become an epidemic around the world, and it's awful, guys. So pray for any beautiful woman that you see feel compelled to put that nasty stuff in their face and to mutilate their bodies. It's terrible. Terrible.
So Joseph, I got this one of the most important topics in boxing.
Let's hear it, brother.
So I see a lot of people hyping up Usyk. He's top 10 and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, how can a fighter be like Usyk be top 10 greatest heavyweight fighter of all time when he only had 9 fights? And to my knowledge, he have not defeated not a single elite fighter of his era. He haven't faced or beaten no elite fighters. He don't have that on his resume.
Okay. So, Ugo, we're gonna go clockwise, right? And I want to get the take of all of you of this really intriguing topic that Neverfold just brought up. Thank you, my friend. Ugo, you first.
Yeah, what is it exactly is he asking? Do I think he's pound for pound or one of the all-time greats?
Where would you rank because he takes exception to guys who have been sent to Dubois victory, saying that he's a top 10 heavyweight all time.
Yeah. In my opinion, I believe he is mainly because when I look at a lot of the fighters, right, there's obviously a lot of comparisons, there's obviously a lot of different styles, there's a lot of weight classes, a lot of icons in the sport. When I think about Usyk, what he brings to the table in terms of his abilities, and he's shown the abilities time and time again. He's shown a lot of depth even in his basic boxing tools, such as his jab, his movement, his boxing IQ. Usyk is one of those guys where when I think about him, I feel comfortable in placing him in any era and betting on him to get the dub, to get the win and dominate and beat a lot of even the older generation fighters. If there was a way to turn back time and put him up against prime, fighters in the '90s or even the 2000s, I think he'd win. I can't say that about other fighters like Canelo Alvarez. I can't say that because when I think about Canelo Alvarez, I think the fighters in the '80s and '90s and 2000s would spark him or beat him. Same with Ryan Garcia. Same with Rolly Romero. Same with
Look, guys, look, Ugo. As much respect as I have for you, my friend. You're this. Hey, brother, if you want to come back on, man, I'll drop the link there, and that's. For you, Darrell, for you here to there, and for you, Dominic, if you guys have the balls and not you there here to there, I know you do, brother. But you other ass clowns, if you want to come and chop it up, do it. Otherwise, shut your pie hole. Chief Monkey, how are you doing, brother? You doing all right? Oh, wow. He's singing Who Are You from The Who. I love it. Look, guys, look. Canelo Alvarez, don't please. I have so much respect for you and your disdain for Canelo.
Yeah.
But do not put him in the same category as Ryan Garcia or Rolly Romero. That's ridiculous.
No, I mean as in the similarities
I know
are.
you're doing it, but just don't, man. Come on.
No. But I'm not. Obviously, Canelo is a far better fighter. All I'm saying is that in terms of putting him on, let's say if I had the ability to put him in a different era and seeing how they would do, I think Canelo would do bad. Obviously, he would do a lot better than Ryan and these other fighters, but I think it's the same problem. He's a great fighter, but he's not the best, and obviously stagnating. So that's all I mean by that. But yeah.
So with the Usyk topic, the boxing source got next.
Boxing source? What do you think, brother? Where would you put Alexander Usyk?
Some will make a case for him to be put up there, but there's not enough of a sample size at heavyweight. You only have
I'll say this, James, and I want to see if you agree with this. Where was it? Hold on. Here it is. I think Here to There has the beat.
Yeah. I mean that, kind of like, but that takes into account what he's done in his, entire career. But even
guys,
with that, there
put everything in its proper perspective, right, James?
Yeah, but
let's stick him in not even in the 90s. We're not talking about the 90s. We're not talking about the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about him in the 2000 to 2010s, right? How would he fare against Vitaly Klitschko?
Virtually no.
How would he fare against a prime Vladimir Klitschko?
That one, because I think we had stories about Usyk and Klitschko, but that one would be very interesting.
How would he fare against a prime Alexander Povetkin?
I think
that might be a tricky fight stylistically, but I think he'll still win. But it would be, I think, the hardest.
How does he fare against a prime Layman Brewster who could crack?
Right.
I would love that fight.
I don't think.
How does he fare against a prime Shannon Briggs?
Now you're talking about the 90s, though.
Well, no, he still competed in the 2000s.
Still competed in the 2000s. Yeah, he would have trouble with Briggs.
He won the WBO title when he knocked out the White Wolf in the final round. How would he compete against a pre-Layman Brewster, Sergey Liakovich? Let's be honest, guys. That fight between Layman Brewster and Sergey Liakovich ruined both men. They were never the same after that. How would Alexander Usyk fare against a prime Samuel Peter who beat James Toney?
That I don't know.
How would Alexander Usyk fare against James Toney?
Yeah, Tony,
That would be his hardest fight. That in terms of how they would engage each other, that would be hard.
He would be thinking the most against James Toney to me, outside of
Yeah.
the Vitaly and Vladimir fights. Like Usyk would have to like really, try to figure out how to get to James Toney.
Okay, so how would he fare against a prime David Haye at cruiser and at heavy?
I favor Usyk.
Not me. I favor David Haye at cruiserweight. He was so explosive and so powerful.
Usyk would give David Haye the belt, man. BTA.
Eunice, welcome back, brother. Now,
Thank you,
say
guys.
Eunice? What do you think, my friend? How do you think? Where would you put Alexander Usyk? I remember you telling me this last week. He's not an all-time great. What say you after the Dubois beatdown?
Oh, that is a crazy statement.
Well, that of course it was an statement, but still, I don't feel like he's an all-time great because he's got only 8 fights. And one of the colleagues here said something about who of those fights he had was an elite fighter.
Hold on, guys. I need to get this out of the way.
was me.
This is starting to bother me now. I'm sorry, my apologies.
You talking about
James, here, listen, James, you know me on a very personal level. Would you agree with this statement?
No.
That I have an ego complex.
No.
What? No.
So shut up.
I think
Okay?
Dominique just
Come
having
out of
fun.
here, dude.
I think Dominique just having fun in the chat. So you just let
Okay,
him
well, he can have fun somewhere else. Go somewhere else, dude. I don't want to mess with you guys.
Now, with the stuff that Udis was talking about, I would like for everybody to chime in on it because me personally, Usyk hasn't faced or beaten a single elite fighter.
Yeah,
But that's
when
not
you
his
look
fault,
at the
but
career
everybody
of
else-
his opponents,
One at a time,
But
guys.
that's not his fault. Everybody else though, he's dispatched pretty dominatingly, and that's what you want to see in a special fighter. If he wasn't special or talented, he
No,
wouldn't.
I'm not questioning his skill set or nothing. I'm just saying, like, look at Ali. He got a Frazier on his resume. If you look at Bud Crawford, he got a spin.
But right.
Hagler, like, you feel me? They went against the elite fighters of their generation.
Okay, listen to
Hold
this.
on a
Here
second.
there says, I think Usyk has too much resolve for David Haye. I agree 100% with that. He is a cerebral assassin, where David Haye was more of a physical specimen. Keep in mind, guys, David Haye, at one point in time, when we all know why now, because he was on that good, but for a window of time, he was maybe the most athletically gifted fighter in boxing. And he was dominant at cruiserweight. And how many guys did he lose to before his ligaments and his injuries started to get the better of him? How many guys did he lose to at heavyweight? Only one, Vladimir Klitschko. And that was probably one of the most boring, uneventful fights I've ever seen.
Unless if it involved W.A.W, then yeah, you could definitely say that. Now to what Neverfold was saying, the thing with Usyk, he has those top 5 wins in the cruiserweight division, and also the top wins over Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. So to that point, would you consider either Joshua or Fury a strong candidate for the International Boxing Hall of Fame if they hung the gloves up?
Yeah, but they will never go down as elite fighters. Never. Look at their resume. Like, you feel me? Who, like, even with a Fury, like, His
What I
resume
can say,
got one of the worst resumes, and like where they like rank
But,
him, like
okay, but
Wait a minute. Wait.
that,
Whose resume are you talking about?
Fury.
Okay, understand this, brother. Tyson Fury, before he fought Vladimir Klitschko, he was signed with which promoter?
what is that, Hennessy?
Nick Hennessy. Yep. So this is why I don't like comparing resumes. If you're not a big ticket seller and you're not signed with a big time promoter and you're considered by pretty much everyone to be more risk than reward, how many skins are you going to have on your resume? Notice the only time he started getting skins on his resume is when he fought Vladimir Klitschko. And since then, he's fought pretty much the upper echelon minus Anthony Joshua. Now, look, say what you want, but at the time, Deontay Wilder was a huge fight. Look at the second and third. Those were two big money-making fights in the U.S. When is the last time we've seen a heavyweight fight the size of Wilder Fury 2 in the U.S. market?
You probably might have to go all the way back to
90s,
Tyson versus
90s.
Lewis.
90s, I would say.
Exactly. Guys, understand this. He couldn't sell out my living room on a Saturday night when he was signed with Mick Hennessy. In fact, they really had to lobby to get that Vladimir Klitschko
you
fight.
have some issues.
So we are in agreement that Usyk has never faced or beaten an elite fighter, right?
No, that's
No.
ridiculous, brother.
Now,
Anthony Joshua is a
who's-
two-time
At this
unified
point,
heavyweight champion,
Joseph,
and he's considered the elite of the elite.
at this point,
Tyson Fury is
when I'm
an
talking
elite
about
level
elite,
talent.
I'm talking about as all time. You would. That's the name you. He
Look,
has
you
to
can't,
face-
look. You cannot fault a fighter for fighting in his era. That's absurd.
So we're not supposed to be giving fighters that's not elite, that don't have the resume, don't have the trophies and none of that. Just
Look.
giving them
You're
title as an
see,
elite.
you're looking at resume, and I'm telling you, from
We have
looking
to,
at
though.
what. No. You have to. Now, James, you know what you're looking at in the ring, and no offense, brother, but James, you know what you're looking at in the ring. Would you say that Usyk, if you plopped him in any division, would be very respectable and at the top of the division? Now, doesn't mean that he would win all those matchups, but he's just like Arthur Beterbiev, just like Dmitry Bivol. He's an all-time great, guys.
Now, Joseph,
I'm not saying that Beterbiev or Bivol could beat James Toney at light heavyweight, or Roy Jones, or Andre Ward, or Joe Calzaghe, but I'm saying he's competitive.
Let me say this to you, Joseph, right? So I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
questioning
Yes,
that
sir.
Usyk is not an all-time great. I'm just saying that for you to put him that high up on a list, he needs those marquee, those Frazier's, those Lennox Lewis, those
But
type
he's
of
never going to get that. And
That's
once
what I'm
again,
saying. So
yeah, look, and I agree with you, and I'm not putting him on top of. I said here to there was right?
Yeah.
Here to there has the beat where he's not an all-time great top 10, but he is an all-time great, and you could stick him around 25, 30, between 25 and 30 all-time great heavyweights.
Yep. And then with Usyk, like, if anybody say that he wouldn't be able to compete in any era, they just hating. He got the skills to do that. And he's 6'3" average heavyweight. He's decent size. He got the skills. He got everything that he needs to compete at any era. Yep. So I'm not questioning like his skill set and none of that. I'm questioning the resume.
Questioning his resume. Yeah, look, and he's never going to be comparable with guys like Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, not even Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes,
Joe,
Frazier. Come on, guys.
Joe, there you go.
Hey, God bless you, Dominic. Take care, my friend. Thank you for being here, brother.
Hey, Joseph, you got dudes like Riddick Bowe. Like, come on, man. Like,
No. That's okay. I tell you what. Let's have fun here, guys. Let's say Alexander Usyk, and I'm gonna rattle off opponents to you guys one by one, and I want all of you guys to answer this. Okay. Alexander Usyk. We're gonna take the 90s. Alexander Usyk versus David Tua in his prime.
I got Usyk.
The guy who knocked John Ruiz into next week.
I got Usyk.
Google.
Yeah, I got Usyk. It would be like a close decision fight though. But yeah.
James.
Oh, Usyk by a slight margin.
Never fold.
I got Usyk 8-4, man.
You this.
Go ahead.
How did
Yeah.
he fare against David Tua in his prime? The guy who fought Ike Ibeabuchi.
I think I'll go Usyk.
I would take David Tua by way of left hook to the body. Knockout.
Yeah, that
Okay, let's go on, guys. Ike Ibeabuchi before he was incarcerated. Who wins, Usyk or Ibeabuchi? Now, we haven't even gotten to Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield, Michael. We haven't even gotten there yet. Guys, Ike Ibeabuchi. Ugo, go ahead.
I got Usyk.
By decision?
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, I think he.
You think he figures out a way to beat the president?
Say again.
You think he figures out a way to beat the president?
Oh, it's not gonna be easy. None of those fights are easy, man. The Lennox Lewis, you're talking about the who's.
Let's go.
They're hard.
Come on, man.
But he can get it done. I feel very confident. But yeah, I would say decision.
James, what say you?
That's another close one. Another one.
Honestly, I think Ike Ibeabuchi knocks his ass out.
Oh, really?
So this is telling us how like them like saying that Usyk is
That's
top
my
10,
point for
top
bringing this
15
up. So
boxers.
never fold. What do you think, Ibeabuchi or Usyk?
I think that body work, man. Usyk going, that's his weakness. So I got that shit. Like,
Why do people keep repeating that? You just saw Dubois. When did he go to the body just recently? The guy didn't even invest to the body at all.
okay.
If Usyk was that weak to the body, why in this? You saw the fight right recently. He didn't once really go there. He just tapped him one time and that's it. He evaded. It's not. Come on.
Adam, I miss you, brother. God bless you, my friend. Look, I look. We're not going to talk about Space Case Dubois anymore, guys. We're done with that topic. And Ugo, yeah, I feel your pain. You this? Who wins? Prime for prime, Usyk versus Ike Ibeabuchi.
I don't know. It's a close one too. That's difficult.
Okay,
I don't
guys,
know.
we're gonna lighten it up now. Okay, now Udis, what did you say?
I don't have a winner in that fight.
There it is. There it is. I tell you what, who would win though would be the fans. Okay, let's make it a little bit easier. Ugo, Alexander Usyk versus a prime Sultan Ibragimov.
Damn, honestly, in my mind, as far as I think the jab, whoever has a better jab will win that day.
Honestly, I think Sultan Ibragimov's quick left hand. Usyk wouldn't be able to deal with the power or the speed. James, am I wrong?
Yeah, that one would be a real tough fight for Usyk.
So, guys, what are we saying about Usyk? What are we saying? Is Neverfold right? I think he may be right.
Yeah, but what did I say? I said in reference to this particular era, he's the best of this era, but you don't have enough of a sample size to put him in that discussion for top 10.
Neverfold, I think you may be right because we're not even at the upper echelon of the 90s, and we're seeing Usyk get knocked out.
Yeah, so and then Usyk only had 9 fights. You got dudes that had like 60 fights at heavyweight.
Well, though, understand this though. That's not fair for Usyk
And they fought dogs.
Because well, look, Usyk had such a deep amateur pedigree. That's why he never had to compete at the 4, 6, and 8 round levels because of his deep amateur background, like Vasyl Lomachenko. Now, keep in mind, in Vasyl Lomachenko's third fight, he beat the brakes off of Gary Russell.
But Joseph, listen to this. I'm only questioning the Usyk at heavyweight. I'm not talking about his overall. Like, I'm only talking about heavyweight.
No. I understand that, but that still doesn't detract from him having that deep amateur background. That's why he only had 9 fights, right? And so once again, hold on, Adam, you've never heard of Sultan Ibragimov? Dude, that shocks me, man. That's shocking. Good to see you, Adam. Oh, Chingao. Eunice, we haven't heard from you. How does Usyk fare against Barney Rubble?
I don't know.
Sultan Ibragimov, a.k.a. Barney Rubble. That was the Barney Rubble laugh right there. Yes. No, nothing.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, let's move on now, guys. Let's move on. How would Usyk fare against oh shit. Let me look at the night. Boy, the 90s had some great heavyweight fights. How would Usyk fare against the sniper, Corey Sanders, the guy who beat the shit out of Vladimir Klitschko in 3 rounds?
I think Usyk beat him.
How? Why? How do you see that fight playing out?
Keep him on his toes, move, counter him on the inside and things like that. Basically, like what he did to Dubois in the second fight.
Maybe. I think you're right. I think he beats Corey Sanders on points. Because let's just be honest, outside of 3 or 4 rounds, Corey Sanders fell asleep. He was a part-time fighter, but man, for those 3 rounds, whoo, he was something special.
Yeah, but I think Usyk's movement would be the problem in that matchup.
I think you're right.
Usyk is to even, let's say he decides not to, he will commit to a lot of the exchanges, but when he doesn't need to, the guy just moves exceptionally well, and he has what I like about him in terms of when he sets up his offense, he's using all directions. Like, he's omnidirectional, in his approach. So every time he's moving defensively, there's a purpose to it. He might set a trap. He might counter you. He might slip a tight angle. He might do a lot of shit. So that's like the difference there too. So
yeah, I think you're right, man. The footwork, the angles, because let's be honest, Corey Sanders was a counterpuncher by trade, and that all the feints with the head and the shoulders and the feet, man, it would completely freeze Corey Sanders. I think you guys are right. So let's move to. No, we're not even going to mention Hasim Rahman. Sorry, Hasim.
Oh, see, hey, I was looking right at Hasim Rahman as impossible.
All right, brother, we'll go. Dude, we'll even go one further. Let's do Hasim and then John Ruiz. Does the huggy man, John Ruiz, hug his way to a victory over Usyk?
Huggy bear? Nah.
The huggy man?
I got Usyk.
Yeah, I do too.
What do you think, brother? You this. Come on now, brother. Wake up.
Oh.
What do you think, man?
Usyk.
Never fold?
John Ruiz.
I'm talking about both Hasim Rahman or John Ruiz.
I think Usyk beat both of them.
I agree. I do think, though, in a scary way, I think John Ruiz might come out with a draw by fucking holding him too much, guys. Raphael, I'm not talking about Corey T-Rex Sanders. I'm talking about the sniper. God rest his soul.
Now, one thing that you said about the holding thing, we have yet to see that, and I did not know that Usyk was actually he partake in MMA as far as like judo and wrestling. So
Yeah, look, I'll say this.
Yeah.
It is extremely difficult to tie up Alexander Usyk, and Tyson Fury found that out the hard way in the first fight now, didn't he?
Yeah, that's also something that
He's a
plays a
crafty
part.
guy with a lot of upper body strength. Okay, guys, now we get to the upper echelon. Or are we? Okay, we're gonna take two at a time right here, okay? Just like we did for this last one. Alexander Usyk versus a prime Andrew Flow Galata and Chris Bird in his prime. How does he fare?
I go with
Ooh,
Galata.
starting with you.
Chris Bird was next on my list too.
James, you go, man. Ugo has stage fright or something. Go.
Oh, I didn't know you were asking me.
I'm
Man,
going
no,
clockwise. I'm going clockwise, guys.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Ugo, go ahead. Now,
Okay.
how does he fare against Andrew Galata and Chris Bird?
I think he would. I think with Galata be 8-4, but Chris Bird, I don't know. It's tricky, man. That is a tricky. I don't know.
Yep.
That he might draw. Honestly, I would say draw with him. That's just me. Just me. Not. Those are just tough dudes, man. It's a tough list.
I love the 90s, guys. Big James, what say you on both?
Well, Usyk would win against Galata by DQ. Because Galata would actually hit him low. He would actually do that.
Well, wait a minute. If what's his face, Luis Pabon was ref, sure.
Oh, that would have been an automatic DQ.
But if Vic Draculich or Arthur McCanty Jr., I don't know about that.
Or maybe yeah. Yeah, but with Chris Bird, that would be a good fight. That would be a good technique.
Honestly, guys, I think both of them would be good fights. Remember, Galata was a ruined fighter after the Lewis fight. And definitely after the Lehman Brewster fight. But the Galata who fought Riddick Bowe, that would have been a tough out, guys.
Yeah.
Especially with Luis Pabon as ref. But look, I agree. Chris Bird is a tough out for him, man. That's tricky. He beat, he outpointed and gave a boxing lesson to David Tua. Now, guys, Riddick Bowe, prime Riddick Bowe, the guy who beat the brakes off of Evander Holyfield. How does Usyk fare against him?
he getting knocked out, man. Straight up.
Yep. Agreed.
Me too.
Prime Evander Holyfield, the guy who beat Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas.
And Riddick Bowe once.
Uh-huh.
In Foreman.
Don't mention Foreman yet, brother. Come on now. Stop.
Yeah, I would say he would get knocked out, but it would be a late round.
Okay, let's ask this. How does he fare against Michael Moore?
That's a 50-50 fight. Either fighter could win. I could see a draw. But
Yep.
if I had to favor anybody, I'd go with Moore because Moore is actually going in there with them dogs. So we've seen him pull some nice wins. And
Guys, what are we saying about Alexander Usyk all time?
he's not top 10. He's not top 15. You could start talking like 25-ish type of.
Exactly. Guys, I think we put this one to bed. Thank you for bringing this up, Neverfold. Excellent topic, my friend.
For sure.
Okay, what is the final comment, guys? Because we have about 10 more minutes. What would you like to talk about, sir?
Well, about Usyk, I can say that we can agree that it's maybe the greatest achievement in the four belts era. But when somebody tells me that he's at the level of the Ali's, the Foreman, and guys like that, come on, man.
Now, let me say this to what you said. You said that you said he got the most. What you said in the 4-bit era?
Then let's say the greatest achievement in the 4-belt era.
Well, we can't say that until we see September 13th, because Crawford will be doing it in 3-weight divisions. Usyk only been undisputed twice. He just
Well, look,
regained his
guys.
Well,
This is
belt
not.
that he
This
never
is now
lost
looking
in
at.
the ring.
This is now the eye test, guys. Raphael, welcome to the show, sir. It's good to see you, my friend. He says he loses to a prime bow. Usyk does, but this is just theoretical because Usyk is the best I've seen at making adjustments.
Yeah.
He downloads other fighters' blueprints.
Best.
Look, he is, and this is what I said last week. He's an all-time great because he makes adjustments. He's a complete fighter, and he's a cerebral predator. But a lot like Evander Holyfield, he's a natural cruiserweight fighter, and he's grown into the heavyweight division. So you're not going to see him have a ton of knockouts, but he's a cerebral predator. And he has some of the best footwork ever in the heavyweight division.
So, Joseph, you agree with him saying that Usyk is the best he's seen at making adjustments?
No, I'm saying he's the best he's seen at making adjustments of this era and of the last 30 years. But I make no mistake about it, guys. Think about this. Look, 30 years. I'm going to say
you a name. I'm going to give you a name. Floyd Mayweather.
No, I'm talking about the heavyweight division, dude. Come on now. Stop it.
Okay.
Come on, because look. Can he hold Terrence Crawford's jock in that area? No, he can't. So we're talking about heavyweights. So look, guys, though, if you put Usyk in the 80s, I think Tim Witherspoon whoops his ass. And that's from the heart, guys. But is he an all-time great? Yes, he is.
Nah, anybody that says otherwise is hating. He's all-time. But the way they ranking him at is just crazy.
Yep, I agree. Like, come on, guys. Joe Frazier would tear that ass to pieces.
And I got Ezra Charles and
Amen.
Walcott and Marciano being Usyk.
Oh man, Rocky Marciano would knock him into next week because of that chin and that power.
Floyd Patterson.
Well, wait a minute though. Floyd Patterson with that chin, I don't know.
Hey, I don't know. That dog in him though.
Yes.
That dog, and then guys, he had to pick a boo. That's the style that could beat Usyk.
Well, wait a minute though. Did we not see the Ingemar Johansson first fight? Did we not see that?
What happened after that?
He whooped his ass in the Bronx.
Yeah.
He whooped that ass in the Bronx. Yep. Hey guys, fun fact, that was the very first pay-per-view or closed circuit in the American market. And my mentor, Don Chargan, was in charge of all the closed circuit in California. And that was from the Teleprompter Corporation, who staged the very first closed circuit in boxing. And the very first fight was the rematch in Yankee Stadium between Ingemar Johansson and Floyd Patterson. Fun fact.
Now, let me ask you this, Joseph. So I'm hearing reports that Tank in Pacquiao is in talks. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I'll tell you what, that would make a whole lot of sense, but I don't think that happens. I think the more realistic assignment for Manny Pacquiao at this time. Now, the biggest fight? Oh, damn. Yeah, of course it's. But look, we don't even know if Gervonta Davis is going to be out of the Hoosgow.
Yeah, Lamont Roach been saying that he's not trying to fight him. He's not trying to fight at all and stuff like that.
Well, of course not. That's not a big money fight, and he's considered too much risk for the reward. Be honest, guys, though. Until I see otherwise, and this is what started all of that conversation on H Money's channel. Let's be honest. I said that Gervonta's head is not in the game anymore.
It's not.
And if his head's not in the game, he should not be in the ring, because boxing, you don't play boxing, guys. You don't play boxing. Now, I will say this, though. That is the biggest money fight for PBC right now. But the more realistic fight, guys, if it's not Floyd Mayweather, a geriatric showdown, then it's going to be Rolly Romero for the regular WBA against Manny Pacquiao.
So people actually want to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao?
No, I'm saying that's the biggest money fight that they could make, and it's not for boxing fans. Like you and I, everyone on this panel, we hate that fight. That's nonsense. But I will say this, though. For mainstream and casuals, after Manny's showing on Saturday, they love that fight. They love that fight, and they're still waiting for Manny to whoop the ass of Floyd Mayweather Jr. And this is the best chance they'll ever get in seeing that. And I'm saying that at PBC, what other big fights do you have? Benavidez is fighting for Turkey El Sheikh now. Gervonta Davis may be going up the river. So what else do you have if you're PBC? This was the whole reason why you called Manny out of retirement, because you didn't have anything else. Adrian Broner can't fight anymore.
Hey, Errol Spence is gone.
Errol Spence, he's retired, brother. He's off on his ranch.
He's off it. He's in a cruise doing push-ups.
Man, Big Fish going double back, man. Y'all just wait on it.
I'm sorry, what?
I said Big Fish going double back, man. Y'all just wait on it.
I love your optimism, never fold, but he's done, brother.
Unless if I get any inkling from someone within or was in the camp, nah, he ain't coming back, man.
Well, to be honest, I don't feel like he's retired. I feel like he's just taking a sweet time.
Brother.
What, like Keith Thurman?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, stop it. Stop it, guys. Stop. Stop. I don't want to hear anymore, guys. I can't hear you. Oh, jeez.
All right.
No, realistically, guys, PBC, this is the biggest money fight that PBC can muster at this time, is Manny versus Floyd. And if Floyd demands too much money, which he very well may, we're going to see Rolly Romero defend his WBA regular title against Manny Pacquiao at 47.
Now,
that's it.
What if they have any type of thing cleared off with Gervonta Davis and they potentially say little guy versus little guy, Tank versus Pacquiao?
Then that is the biggest money fight that they can make right now, and everyone would, dude, you would see both guys on Joe Rogan next week. That's how huge that fight is.
At this point, Tank might as well go ahead and give it up, because you're trying to fight Pacquiao and people like Jake Paul, bro. Like, come on, bro.
See, that's what I was saying on the show, and some dude was calling me out, man. I'm like, look, guys, I know this business. And I can tell you with great certainty that Gervonta's head is not in the game. He's already checked out. He's got 1 foot in retirement already.
Listen,
just like Ugo's favorite fighter, Canelo Alvarez.
Listen, when Tank did what he did last month, yeah, he's definitely out of the fight game. Because
and James, how long ago did I tell you this?
It was even months before that happened.
Yep. Guys, he's done. When a fighter starts talking about, oh, I maybe have 2 or 3 more fights left because, you know, I think it's bad for me mentally. When he starts talking like that, he's done already. He's done, guys. And I knew that going into the Lamont Roach fight. I knew it was going to be the toughest of his career.
So this is what I'm saying.
I believe he's going to jail on purpose just to avoid.
Dude, no one goes to jail on purpose, you dimwit. Come on. That's just terrible, you this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to jail on purpose. Yeah. Look, even P. Diddy didn't want to go to jail on purpose, so stop it.
So look, Joseph, like what I was saying is like with a Shakur Stevenson, it ain't looking like you about to get that Tank fight. Like
no, he never will.
So what I'm saying is move up to 40 and fight those fighters that's of your generation and really solidify yourself instead of staying at 35 hoping for a Tank fight, and you're not even the A side and shit. And it's like, bro, go ahead and fight the fights at 40. That's gonna turn you into bigger than you already are.
Never fold. The only fight that makes sense monetarily for Shakur Stevenson, and it's not a good style matchup for him, is Teofimo Lopez at 140. What other fights make monetary sense at 140 for Shakur?
You think Shakur win beat Teofimo easy?
I no, not easy. Look, no one beats Teofimo easy, guys.
Did we not see him get beat by Sandor Martin and Jermaine Ortiz?
Until it's a loss on his record, no. Look, those are terrible style matchups, and Shakur wouldn't even beat those guys easily because they're terrible style matchups.
Terrible.
Give me anybody who looks good against either one of those guys. Why do you think Devin Haney ducked out of that fight, dude?
I mean, there wasn't no money in it. They was lowballing him during that time.
Lowballing him?
Yeah,
or just offering how much it was worth?
Yeah, I'm talking about from Haney, because he was selling pay-per-views and he kind of
whoa. Did you just say Haney and selling pay-per-views in the same sentence?
Yeah, he sold pay-per-views with Regis, with Loma, and Astarayan.
Okay, hold on. Loma pay-per-view lost money for ESPN.
But it's still
no, listen. Regis pay-per-view lost money for DAZN.
Did I mention
every network that he's gone to, except the Ryan Garcia fight, lost money. Every pay-per-view lost money except for Ryan Garcia, and that was only because of one guy, Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney is not a pay-per-view commodity.
Now, let me say this.
Unfortunately, he's been paid inflated purses.
Where was Astarayan at before Haney and before Tank? Not on pay-per-view.
Whoa. Wait a minute. So you actually think that Devin was the reason why that Ryan Garcia pay-per-view sold?
I mean, where was pay-per-view at versus Oscar Duarte?
That wasn't on pay-per-view. That was on regular DAZN.
I thought he was a star, and he got all these.
But here's the problem.
But you could put Haney against Duarte, and that wouldn't be on pay-per-view either. Look, honestly, if you're going to be honest, Regis fight shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. The only reason why it was out of necessity because they were paying Regis and Haney too much money. Guys, this is just a business. Understand, that wasn't a pay-per-view matchup. If you're looking at what determined back in the day, put a fight on pay-per-view. The only reason why they put both the Lomachenko and the Regis Prograis fight on pay-per-view was because they paid out too much money. They wanted some of that money back. But were both those matchups pay-per-view matchups? Not on your life. Haney, in no way, shape, or form has Haney ever been a draw on his own.
So when it comes to Haney, right, he's like one of those dudes that's being most talked about. People are checking for whether they hating on him or not, because these other fighters that so-called superstars and all this stuff, they not selling.
Wait a minute. What demographic are you talking about? You're talking about diehard boxing fans who don't pay for shit these days?
Just
sure.
In general,
they don't pay for anything. If you're talking about mainstream and casual fans, they don't even think about Devin Haney. Understand, there are two different markets in this business, guys.
When it comes to selling and them type of things, Devin Haney name is up there.
Okay, that's why he's fighting Ryan Norman Jr., right?
Hold on.
And that's why he's in the main event, right? Come on now. What are we talking about? He's not even in the co-main event of this card.
Listen, he's not main event because of what happened in that May fight. That's why.
Stop it. He's not in the main event because he can't sell, brother.
It can't be that.
Hold on.
Look. Jake Paul is going to be in the main event of every single fight card he's on. And why, James?
Because
that's business. He got the casuals. That's business.
No. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
business. Understand, if you're the big swinging dick on the card and you're the big ticket seller, you're in the main event. And that goes even to club shows. If you're the big ticket seller on any level, you're going to be in the main event.
Now look at it like this. You can't name too many people that's been more successful in far as like from Haney generation. Shakur ain't been on pay-per-view. He not out.
And was he in the main event? No.
He should have
Brad
been.
Berlanga getting top spot over Shakur.
That's
what does
because
that say?
Because
He ain't
Turkey
shit.
wanna
He
push
ain't
you
shit,
out.
brother. Look. All
Yeah.
I'm saying is this. Neither Teofimo Lopez nor Devin Haney are big marquee draws, but they demand a shit ton of money. This is why it's so hard to match them up, guys.
You cannot put Devin Haney and Teofimo in the same conversation. Dude is not
Yes, we can.
James, why can't I do that?
Never fold. I'm gonna
When
tell
have
you
you
this.
ever sold out?
When you talking
Like,
about Devin
last time
Haney selling out?
Where
Hold
was
on.
that fight held?
Hold on a second. You're talking about a Devin Miles Haney that overprices himself for the fights that he asked for, the fights that he's in. That's number one. Okay. That's why he has to be on pay-per-view in the first place, regardless of who the opponent is, because they have to cover for what Devin Haney asked for, not for what the opponent asked for, but for what Devin Haney asked for. That's number
Out of
one.
necessity.
Now, number two. Now, hold on. Number two, you're talking about a Devin Miles Haney that fought the likes of Jorge Linares, Yuriorkis Gamboa, Jojo Diaz before he had that opportunity to fight George Kambosos twice. And that was in Australia, where he was the opponent going into that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So once you have that, and then you have the fight against Lomachenko, he's only had one fight around his hometown or near his hometown. Outside of that, you really don't see that much of a demand for people to see Devin Miles Haney fight. You just don't.
So, how come he's more successful if you comparing him to Teofimo? Teofimo haven't done nothing besides the Loma fight.
The thing with Teofimo Lopez is Teofimo Lopez asked for the same thing that pretty much Devin Haney does. The only difference is hold on. The only difference is Teofimo Lopez can't really move around like Devin Haney does because Teofimo Lopez is locked under top rank. Devin Haney started up from pretty much nobody. So he can say, hey, I could go fight over here. I could go fight over there. I don't have a long-term deal with this promotional company. I could, fight with Matchroom for a couple of fights. I could fight somebody over at Top Rank for one fight. Why? Because I don't have those long-term deals with those guys. Okay. Now, the thing about it is that you see like a lot of maybe it could be either attendance or maybe sometimes numbers, but we only have a couple of fights to kind of go after with Devin Haney. You only have Vasyl Lomachenko and you only have Ryan Garcia. That's it. As we mentioned.
Now, how many fights Teofimo had on pay-per-view?
Hold on. Here's the thing with Devin Haney against Vasyl Lomachenko. That was pay-per-view because of both of those guys there. Not just Devin Haney, but Vasyl Lomachenko. And up to this point, especially now, since they're going to have their last show on this network, that was the last pay-per-view that ESPN has had under the boxing banner, was Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko.
Wait a minute, guys. On that Times Square debacle, James.
Yep.
Was Devin Haney in the main event?
Nope.
Why was that?
Because of Mr. Ryan Garcia.
He's the big ticket seller in the equation, guys.
Somebody that never accomplished nothing in the sport.
It doesn't matter. He sells tickets.
He sells tickets
and seats.
So
that's why he was in the main event, guys.
Other than Devin Haney and Tink, he haven't done nothing. He haven't sold nothing.
That doesn't matter, dude.
It does matter because it just shows that he's not that guy that people trying to say that.
I'm sorry. Where's Devin Haney sold anything? Not even in Vegas does he sell shit.
He sold more than Oscar Ryan.
What?
He did.
Where?
remove Tink and Haney. We wouldn't be talking about no Ryan. Nobody was looking for him either way until that fight happened with Haney, right?
Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
Who was
Ryan
looking for him?
Garcia? Hold on. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia was the biggest selling pay-per-view since.
It was. But because of who though?
Because of both.
Okay.
Because who was? Hold on. So what pay-per-view has even come close to selling?
No, nothing.
With Gervonta Davis, what? How many of his pay-per-views have even come close to selling the kind of units that he sold with Ryan Garcia?
Now, how many pay-per-views did Osteron sold before him?
I'm sorry, what?
How many pay-per-views did Osteron
Look, see, this is guys what you have to understand. And I'm really getting tired of all the pay-per-view talk because that's not a gauge as to how popular you are.
I mean, we have to.
But okay. So hold on. No. Listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. Because Deontay Wilder was just in a pay-per-view. And it wasn't because he was popular. Because no network was interested. It was out of necessity. Understand, if you request more money than you can sell, you have to put it on pay-per-view out of necessity to try to get the network that money back. And that's the only reason why.
Now, let me ask
you, Joe.
Featured on pay-per-view.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia had a fight against Emmanuel Tego.
That was sold out in the Alamo Dome.
That was sold out in the Alamo Dome. That got a gate of over $1.3 million.
Yep.
That's Ryan Garcia. You can't.
And that was against Emmanuel Tego.
Emmanuel Tego. Like, Devin Haney's not going to have that type of gate against an Emmanuel Tego. He's not.
Now, who was on the undercard?
Nobody.
I
know. I covered that event.
Is that a fact what y'all saying or what?
No, you can look it up as public record, dude. Look up BoxRec. Go ahead. I think the girl from Houston was in the co-main event.
Marlon Esparza.
Yep, that's it.
Naoka.
Maybe Oscar bought all the tickets, man. You never know.
Yeah, okay, dude. Look, I covered that event. You look. All we're saying is, Devin Haney is a product of inflated purses, and that's the only reason why his fights have been featured on pay-per-view, because he asked for too much damn money. And the only reason why Top Rank was willing to pay that much, because they were so confident Lomachenko was going to become undisputed at lightweight as a result. They were wrong. They gambled and they were wrong. Why haven't they done business with Devin Haney since? Because he demands too much damn money.
Hey, Joe, I have one thing here before, I'm gonna close out.
Yeah, we're gonna close out, guys. Yeah. But hey, guys, amazing show though. And Neverfold, thank you, man, for being on this platform, man. It was nice chatting with you. And I loved all the topics that you brought up. It's always a joy, man, to share the air, as well as Ugo. James, you get the final thought, and then we're gonna go around and give everyone your final thought, okay, and where to reach you.
We got, still some action here coming up for the fight weekend, so people could still follow that. But on the last thing there, in reference to that Ryan Garcia, Emmanuel Tego, since it was in the state of Texas, the Texas State Athletic Commission does provide information there. They are public when it comes to their sporting events. So if you want to check, you can check.
That's public record. Just ask Greg Alvarez, guys. Okay, he's the head of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, okay?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Hold on. Stand back and stand by. Fishnets bought all the tickets. Guys, this has been a really fun show. Thank you very much. And it feels like over 2.5 hours just flew by. So thank you. Thank all of you guys. It was just a lot of fun for me. Thank you. Ugo, your parting shots, my friend.
I want to say overall interesting topics as always. Appreciate you having me on the panel, Joseph. I don't have any socials. I don't really I I'm kind of less and less. I'm like not as into the sport as I am because of agents like or people like Haney. I think he's a net negative overall for the sport. So that's just what it is. People have their opinions. It's fine. But other than that, I'm looking forward to the fighters that actually give us what we want. So we already spoken about them. Great performance by Bam. Great performance by Usyk. I'm looking forward to Inoue's fighting. His in December. You said so. I'm looking forward to that, regardless, win or lose. So
Oh,
yeah,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Last question, brother. December 27th. And guys, look at the rumor mill. The skinny. It's on Boxing Source, right? On his website, boxingsource.net. December 27th. Noi Inoue. Does he get his first loss by knockout at the hands of MJ Akhmadaliev? Google? What say you, brother?
no, I gotta go with the monster, man. As I said, I kind of already detailed as to why I enjoy him and fighters like him. So I got to ride with him. It is a difficult matchup. I see a lot of holes in MJ. He relies too much on his power. He's a bit slow sometimes, a bit stiff, especially in the early rounds. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if he can catch him early. But I got to go with the monster. Got to support him.
There it is. There
Hopefully,
it
it's
is.
a good fight.
Google.
At the end of the day, I want to see all the fights, man. I want to see everybody fight everybody. So that's what I'm about.
There it
Thank you.
is,
Appreciate
brother. Thank you for being here, Ugo. We appreciate it, my friend. God bless you, brother.
it. Likewise.
James, your thoughts, my friend. Your parting shots for our listening audience, my friend.
Yeah, so just of course check out WaraWeek Boxing here. For these discussions. Of course, we have the weekly thing there with Coach Ronnie Shields. Of course, we had that earlier there with Coach Ronnie, and just keep up with the Boxing Source. We got more and more content for you because it's still a busy week in boxing. So just try to keep up if you can.
God bless you, James, and thank you for making this appearance, brother. And guys, if you haven't already, please go bookmark the boxingsource.net for the skinny and all the latest news, as well as subscribing to his YouTube channel. Thank you, Big James. We love you, man. God bless you, brother. Neverfold, I tell you what, man, what a nice surprise. And dude, I loved all of your contributions to the show, man. Thank you very much for being here, Neverfold.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Your parting shots for our listening audience, homie. And then you have to answer this question. Does Noi Inoue get knocked out by MJ Akhmadaliev on December 27th?
Man, it's going to be a good fight, but I just don't feel like MJ got what it takes to beat him because he's slow. He be thirsting for like he be thirsty for power. Like he believe in his punch of power too much. And yeah, I just don't think that he just got it to beat Inoue unless he knock him out. I got Inoue winning that like 9-3, 8-4 type of fight.
Now, is that your YouTube page, Neverfold Sports?
Yeah, that's my YouTube.
Guys, please go subscribe to our brother Neverfold Sports, please. And thank you for joining us, my friend. I really enjoyed all of your contributions, man, to tonight's show. And please come back, man.
Yeah, for sure. So I was on your Twitter and stuff. I was looking how to contact you because me and you had like an hour and some change. We was having some great conversation. We went back to the 80s, the 70s, the 60s.
I loved it. I thought it was excellent. And yeah, we stayed on the air for like 3-4 hours, didn't we?
So yeah, I noticed that you was live today. I was trying to
well, I tell you what, I'm putting down my professional email.
Okay.
Please email me anytime, brother, and I'll give you my number on email, okay?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Because me and you could definitely cook, and because I don't mind, like I show support. It's all like boxing. We love to talk boxing.
It.
You showing support to other panels, and if I see you live or if I know the schedule, you come live. If I'm available, I come show support, man. That's all it's about.
God bless you, man. And whenever you're, let me know when you're gonna go live. I'll make an appearance on yours as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. Good looking, bro. You have a good stream, man. You feel me? Keep doing your thing, man. Don't let the the other dudes that be questioning and saying this and that. You feel me? It's a reason why some people still be in boxing, because you gotta love the sport to even be in it for as long as you've been in it, man. Just keep doing you, bro.
God bless you, never fold. Thank you, man, and you have a wonderful evening. And shoot me an email, brother. Okay.
For sure, bro. Good looking out.
Guys, please go subscribe to our brother Never Fold Sports. Okay. God bless you, brother. And you this. Oh man, thank you for hanging on again all night, my brother. We appreciate it, man. Your parting shots, and remind everyone where to subscribe.
Of course. Everyone, if you know some Spanish and you love boxing history, you can go to the most based channel of boxing in Spanish, which is Pulso Boxístico. And man, I gotta say, I love the show, and I love to see how. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You've got to answer the same question. Does
I think where he's gonna run through NJ. He's gonna put him to sleep. But hey, Joe, I gotta say, I love to see how your show is growing. Every time you get great people, the guys in the show today, I gotta go and follow their channels and their platforms. I really appreciate the conversation today. And about this weekend, well, I almost felt robbed if it wasn't for Usyk and Van Rodriguez, because we saw Pitbull Cruz fighting. I think this was it was his fifth or his fourth fight, bringing somebody up from a lower division, and we saw. I don't know what we were seeing. I had to say I fell asleep watching Barrios and Pacquiao. It was horrible fight. And what else did we see? Fundora. I told you he was gonna look like the next Tommy Hearn beating a shot Team Tszyu.
Yep. You did.
Still think he's running from. Yeah, I think he's running from Sayas.
Whoa. You think Sebastian Fundora is running from Xander Zayas?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he does.
We're going to revisit that statement after this Saturday night's main event. Guys, once again, tune in to Top Rank's last show on ESPN. But guys, we're going to address this topic tomorrow night. I'm going to be on tomorrow night at 10 p.m. again, this time with Rick Glazier. Guys, and once again, understand, where does Top Rank go from here? Because it's obvious Bob Arum is not running the show anymore. It's Todd Dubois. Now, I'm going to ask you this, and I want you guys to think about this. This is a business question now. How can you run Top Rank that's located in Vegas? How can you run it from your home in Colorado Springs? That's where Todd Dubois currently lives. And I know this because I'm in the business. That's why you've seen Top Rank really take a nosedive over the last 2 years. That's why you've seen them unable to cultivate the stars that they used to be able to cultivate and nurture. Where are the stars? Where are the big attractions? Guys, you cannot do that if you've got a CEO who's actually not running the ship on location. That's the problem. So where do they end up? We'll ask these same questions tomorrow. But are you saying that MJ Akhmadaliev loses to Naoya Inoue?
Of course, by knockout.
Okay, well, maybe I'm the fly in the ointment. Maybe I'm the red herring because I don't like this matchup for Naoya Inoue. Look, my brother is Ramon Cardenas, right? And if he had trouble against Ramon Cardenas, he's getting knocked out by MJ Akhmadaliev on December 27th. Merry Christmas, guys.
Man, that's a risky bet.
Well, we've got plenty of time to ponder on that. But thank you for being here, my brother. Never Fold Sports, thank you for being here. Hugo, thank you for being here. And then my brother, as always, boxingsource.net, James, Big JR Bell, man, one of the last great journalists of boxing. Guys, thank you for joining us. And if you miss any part of this show, please go back and check it out. But guys, on behalf of everyone I just named, I'm Joseph Heron of WaraWeek Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.
W.A.W. presents Big Time Boxing USA on WaraWeek Radio.